Buckle your seatbelts and put those tray tables in an upright and locked position. You feel that?
I feel it.
We have everything on our stage.
G3 is absolutely nuts.
Don't change that channel. If you do, you might miss one of the greatest things ever. Are you ready?
We've got pretty much every game that matters.
E3 is all about the big announcements.
Little thing called Halo 4.
Do you guys want more demos? You got them.
It's out of control! This is by far the biggest event in video games. Everybody is totally here.
Joining us now, Irrational Games, Ken Levine.
That's right, we're gonna break news here.
I'm here with Todd Howard.
I woke up this morning, I'm like, good God, what is going on? This is amazing. Whoa, ever seen that before?
The president!
That is crazy.
Don't you love that? I love it!
There's hundreds of hours of gameplay. I'm sold.
The biggest gaming event of the year starts right now because we said so. Hello to all of you. And of course, hello to you and welcome to E3 12 Live. Yes. Oh my God. Our live. We hit the applause line. I'm Kevin Ferrer. Joining me today, the lovely Candace Bailey.
Oh, thank you, Kevin.
The even lovelier Morgan Webb. And the loveliest Blair Herder. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's an order of attraction to me.
Okay,
That's all.
It's true. We are coming to you from the Los Angeles Convention Center, kicking off 5 hours of live coverage from the heart of gaming's biggest event.
We are here on the show floor all week with live hands-on demos of every big game, the latest news, trailers, and much more. If it's at E3, we've got it.
Yeah, so you don't have to go anywhere else is basically what we're trying to establish here. We have it all here. Plus, we're going to have 3 hours of coverage tomorrow. And then, because you're greedy bastards, we're going to do 3 more on Thursday. So call in sick. Say you've got rickets, which are apparently a thing again, and forge a document.
Coming back. They're like slab bracelets. They're totally in fashion now. Coming up, we're going to go hands-on with God of War Ascension for the PlayStation 3.
Nice.
Listen, if you thought Kratos had rage issues before, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Then a live hands-on demo of Gears of War Judgment. Barrett and Coltrane are back in this prequel to the blockbuster Xbox 360 trilogy.
And a little bit later, the return of Agent 47 and Hitman Absolution. All right, one of these days, you'd think someone would realize that a guy with a barcode on his head is killing everybody, but no.
Now,
Because it's not obvious, right?
No.
At all. Weird. But first, let's check in with the rest of the G4 Justice League. We've got people all over the show floor, and here is what they'll be bringing you today.
check it out. I've only been on the convention floor for like a few minutes, and I already found myself in the middle of this. Stay tuned. We're going to check out some monster games and see if I make it out alive. Ugh. Come on, guys. How have you not hit him yet? He's right here.
So I figured since I'm going to be posted up here for a few days, I might as well just leave my ride on the convention center floor. I mean, I don't have to fight traffic, I don't have to get a parking spot, but it looks like Wacky Motors had its way with my vehicle, and like Ronald McDonald got in on the action too. I don't know, I'm confused. Is someone in my car playing a game? Move over, buddy. Look, let's wear a lucid dress next time. What are we playing here? Sweet! I can't wait to check out this and more!
Hello everybody, Alex Albrecht here. E3 2012, the invasion of video gamers is on, but also the invasion of the planet Earth is on in 2K's XCOM Enemy Unknown. I'm gonna go check it out.
1001. All right, I've been working on this picture with Post-it notes all morning, and if you think that's awesome, that's nothing to what's inside E3. We've got breaking news, brand new video games, tons of entertainment, but if you're looking to find me, I will be right here finishing this up because that's what an art degree gets you.
What up? I'm Louis Vito, Olympic snowboarder. We're here at E3 checking out all the new video games, which I am so stoked because I am a huge gamer just like everybody else. Walk right into these big guys. Crystal ball, 2014 Olympic gold. Let's hope so, but let's join the crowd, check out the rest of E3 and see what's going on.
E3 2012, I have arrived. I am Matt Myra. I got a prime parking spot. Might need to replace a couple of windows, but let's do this. It's gonna be fun.
Thanks, guys. I am standing here at the peak of modern technology, our Twitter wall. Now, I'll be following the top 5 E3 topics. Today, everyone is talking about Halo 4, The Last of Us, and Resident Evil 6. And I'll be monitoring the E3 Twitter wall counter. Right now, our total is approaching 1.5 million tweets. Y'all, that is insane. But most importantly, I'll be reading your E3 tweets and giving away prizes to a few lucky viewers. Today, you can win a PlayStation 3 or a PlayStation Vita or an Xbox 360 just for tweeting along with the show. Now, if you want a shot at winning, all you have to do is tweet using the hashtag E3 on G4 from G4TV.com/E3sweeps. Now, that'll enter you for a chance to win a game console that hour. Right now, let's send it over to Blair and Morgan for our first demo of the day. Hey, guys.
And what a demo it is!
Oh, it's going to be huge. These guys had an incredible showing at Sony yesterday, so we thought we'd kick off the show with a real upper. The story of what a very angry man does after discovering I'm so sorry, I accidentally murdered my wife and child.
Whoops! Kratos is back in God of War Ascension for the PlayStation 3, and we have a hands-on demo.
All right, joining us now is game director Todd Pappy, everybody. God of War Ascension. Todd, again, congratulations on a very, very, very strong showing at Sony yesterday.
Thank you.
You said you were nervous. We're going to make this a lot easier. Ask you some very basic questions. First of all, we all know that God of War 3 actually ended the Kratos trilogy, but didn't obviously end the franchise.
Correct.
So where are we right now in the mythos? Where are we in that world?
We're the earliest that we've ever seen them, basically from games that Sony Santa Monica's done. We are 10 years before before God of War 1, so it's roughly 6 months to a year after he killed his wife and kid.
So he's really angry right now.
Yeah, and
it still stings.
Yeah, and the whole basis, behind the story, the whole question that we want to answer is what happens when you try to break an oath to a god, and that's what our story is all wrapped around.
So let's talk a little bit about combat. I mean, he seems maybe lighter on his feet or lighter in jumping than he has been in previous games.
He's young, he's spry.
I like
he hasn't been burdened down by the emotional weight of murdering his wife and child for years at this point.
But he does have Blades of Athena.
Yeah, he's got Blades of Chaos.
Blades of Chaos.
And then you'll actually see a sub-weapon that Kratos picks up, and he can use that sword, and then he can also tether into people and use them almost as wrecking balls. So we wanted to kind of freshen up the combat and change it around compared to what we've done in the past.
Now, we did show some of this yesterday at Sony, but kind of walk us through where we are right now. What is this level? What's Kratos playing?
So Kratos just arrived at the island of Delos, and so the island of Delos was actually where Artemis and Apollo were born. And so the whole idea behind it is that he's on this journey in search of an item that he needs to basically finalize his quest.
Okay.
So you gotta have puzzles too in God of War.
Yes,
So we got some mini games and puzzles going on.
Yes, we do. So actually, after Jeff kills this goat satyr, he'll actually show off one of our new level mechanics, which is what we're calling life cycle. And the whole idea behind it is being able to take something from pristine to rubble and from rubble to pristine. And yes, we know that we've seen it in other games before, but our take on it is that you can actually have it stop in the middle and have these different stopping points, and we can build puzzles around that. So, for example, as soon as this boat gets thrown by Charybdis,
which I imagine is going to be, you did end the demo yesterday at Sony with him flying into his mouth. I imagine that's going to be a pretty entertaining boss battle.
It will be. It will be. We're working on that one currently right now.
Very cool. So we have seen this. Before we get up to this particular element, talk to us about how you did design new puzzles, because it is a hallmark of the franchise, and you've done so much at this point. I'm sure the expectation was already set by fans. So how do you approach this
I think that, it's more expectations set by us, because we want to play something new, and so for us, this level mechanic actually allowed us to create something new and challenging versus having a lever or a crank or something that we've seen in the past from us.
Sure.
I guess technically we have pulled a lot of levers in video games.
We have.
Yeah.
We have. Are we still pushing boxes, though? Are we going to push some boxes somewhere?
A little bit.
Okay, cool. Because I wasn't going to play it.
But see here, you can stop it in midway, and then Jeff can actually proceed and start climbing up the wall. And so this actually shows off some of our new navigation too. We got rid of the freeway on the wall, what we called it,
Right.
And we've gone more point to point.
Okay, and now are we going to see this particular gameplay mechanic used in combat as well, or is it only going to be for environment?
Yes, everything that we try to give the player, we want to make sure that it has a combat use.
Very nice.
All right, well, I can't wait to see more of that. Multiplayer for the first time. Let's talk a little bit about what that is.
Huge deal, first of all. So excited about that.
It was our way to kind of stretch our wings. We wanted to try something new. So for us, at the end of God of War 3, there was a test level that somebody actually had Fidos created against Kratos. And so that was really the genesis of the idea. And then it was, all right, well, how do we make this work? How do we make it fun? And that's what we've been striving for ever since.
So you're not actually having Kratos fight Kratos, though. You're playing as other Spartans.
Yeah, so the whole idea is really kind of aligning yourself to a god and then taking yourself from an unknown hero to a demigod or to god level.
I imagine you got reams of fan mail praising your decision to put multiplayer in.
Yeah. Well, at first it was more of, what are you doing? And then once we showed footage and everything like that, they're like, oh, okay, I get it. I understand how it fits. And then, the buzz has just been building since then.
Right. Can you speak a little bit to the challenges of designing multiplayer around a game that for most people is one of the best single-player experiences they've ever had, and suddenly you're adding this new element? So how did you approach it?
Well, for us, again, it was a new challenge,
right.
And so we had to actually rewrite a bunch of our code because it was single-player only, and now, moving it into the multiplayer front, making sure that it's balanced, it's secure, it actually, runs across network. And then just going through and figuring out what works from a combat standpoint and what's new, for a formula. Because with God of War 1, so much of the time spent was actually trying to figure out what the formula was. And Jappy and I and others, just sat and played and tuned the game for a very long time. So that's what we've been doing with the multiplayer. Is we've been trying to find our formula and what feels God of War.
All right, so you guys have actually brought us an exclusive screenshot today. So we're gonna take a peek at that and see where that takes us.
What is that?
So this is actually the Satyr captain, and so the whole idea behind him is that he is. We've got our traditional grunts or our traditional satyrs, and he actually gets them into formations. He's basically the thinking AI behind our grunts. And so he'll tell them when to attack, he'll tell them when to block, and form formations around him with shields or that kind of stuff.
So kill him first.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
That's
you see that guy, kill him first on the battlefield.
Exactly. You cut the head off, the body will fall.
I love it, man. So when's the game coming out? I know people are really excited. When can they play it?
We are coming out March 12th, 2013.
Very cool. Well, thank you
Very
so much
excited.
for being
Thank
here.
you, guys.
We really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thanks for bringing the game in.
Thanks for coming by.
That was violent. Woo! Coming up, get your first look at Star Wars 1313. The new game from LucasArts puts you in the boots of a bounty hunter. And guess what you're looking for?
Trouble?
Oh, you guessed correctly. Yes, you're looking for trouble.
Yes! Plus, we'll go hands-on with Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Find out how Strike Force missions will change the way you play the world's most popular shooter right after this.
Do I have to wait?
You have to wait. It's right after this.
Is it right after this, though?
Yes, like I said.
All right, I'll wait then. I'll wait. I'm not going to be happy about waiting, but I will.
A few seconds.
Hey guys, don't move because coming up we're going to be demoing Dance Central 3. And I got to chat with someone that, trust me, you are going to freak out when you see him. I'm going to do a little dancing now, though.
These gentlemen do not have badges. Nobody checked them for badges.
I don't think they need badges.
Okay. No, sir.
Right,
Okay.
we better be careful.
All right, guys, the just announced Star Wars 1313 is not a cutesy game with lighthearted antics. It is serious business.
Yes, you're going to play as a bounty hunter navigating the treacherous criminal underworld of Coruscant. It's time for an exclusive look.
Joining us now is visual effects supervisor Kim Libreri and creative director Dom Robillard. Welcome.
Thank you guys for being here.
Could not be more excited to revisit the Star Wars universe, especially, you know, in such an edgy, mature manner. What is Star Wars 1313?
So Star Wars 1313, it's a game about being a bounty hunter, as you already mentioned, and it's set down in the dark criminal underworld of 1313. And Coruscant, which is the home world in Star Wars, is actually made up of thousands and thousands of layers, and 1313 refers to the number of the level that you're actually on.
All right, it's not a copy and paste error. This is it's an actual layer of Coruscant where not the happiest people in the world are confined to.
No, it's really a kind of hive of scum and villainy down there. And like you said, a much more mature expression of Star Wars that we haven't really seen before.
So why are we going to level 1313? What's happening down there? Is there like a Groupon on lightsaber parts, or?
It's where the criminal underworld thrives, and therefore so do bounty hunters.
Okay.
All right, so are we going to see any cameos from other characters in the Star Wars universe that we recognize?
Well, you have to stay tuned to see what we're going to bring into the mix in terms of characters. But yeah, we can't talk
that
about
was
it
a
just
beautiful maybe. I like that.
Yeah, no, it's an artful dodge. Definitely forced dodge. All right, so here, you know, some people look at this footage and they say, oh, well, that's a nice cutscene, because it is a cutscene. But what they don't realize is that the gameplay is the exact same as the cutscenes. The cutscenes are the gameplay. There's no difference. It's the same engine.
Absolutely.
It's all real time. It's all happening in engine, right?
Yeah, everything there is 30 frames a second in the engine, actual final assets.
How do you do this? What is happening? Is this running on a supercomputer? Is this?
It's running on a PC.
Yeah.
You know, PC
on an array of 40 of them, or
no,
something that we
single
could
PC.
get off the
You
shelf
could buy
now?
the PC today. You know, we've had a
Insanity.
lot of help from our friends at NVIDIA to get the graphics technology up and running. But yeah, it's pretty much standard PC.
But what are the, I mean, standard hardware is fine, but clearly you're doing some tricks to give it a level of visual fidelity that I haven't seen real time in any other game. What are you guys actually doing?
Well, a lot of the secret of why it looks so good right now is that this is a collaboration, not just LucasArts, but we've got ILM involved, Skywalker Sound. So we're taking a lot of the tricks that we know at ILM, and I'm an ILM visual effects supervisor. My job is mostly to make sure the movie looks good and when we work on film. So I've come over to LucasArts to work with Dom for the last 6 months to see what we can do. Can we merge the two worlds and make a cinematic game feel more like a movie?
How different are the processes in working on both those two genres or those two mediums?
The artistic side of things is pretty similar, but the discipline that you have to have in games is much, much higher than we would normally have in movies. You know, everything has to run in 33 milliseconds.
Right.
So every technique you have to think twice, is it the right way to do it to achieve the visual results that you want? Especially when you're dealing with characters at this level of detail. There's so much fidelity in the facial performances and the cloth performances and everything that you see in the piece that we're showing that you have to be really wise about how you get it in there.
Absolutely. Now, when we're actually in there and the action is going on, it looks like a cover-based shooter from what I can see, but is there platforming elements? I saw some of that going on as well.
Yeah, you pretty much covered it. So it's a mix of kind of agile cover combat and death-defying platforming. I think we've got 2 clips of that as well to show.
And what sort of weapons are at our disposal when we're...
Well, one of the most important things about being a bounty hunter is obviously this huge suite of amazing weapons and gear that they have. And I think people really want to get their hands on that and experiment with them and have a lot more flexibility about how you would normally play a game like this. So it's a big part of it.
Oh, sorry.
What's it like to actually sort of have all of these different LucasArts assets at your disposal and companies and support? I mean, you got some support standing, like sitting right next to you right now.
It's humbling, to be honest. You know, it's kind of amazing. Like, these guys come downstairs because they're right above us in the building, and having them just kind of come off something like the Avengers or, you know, another kind of multi-million-dollar movie and get knee-deep in making a game and give the same kind of dedication and passion to that we have for making games. It's a really humbling experience.
How far along in the development of 1313 are we? When was this conceived?
So we're in pre-production, so we're still quite early right now.
Okay.
We can't talk about release dates just yet, but stay
you knew
tuned.
exactly where we were going. That was quite a Jedi mind trick.
I know.
Nice.
No, I like it. I think that they've maybe done this before.
Yeah.
And we can't
That's
upset
right,
the big guy. I think we're in trouble.
exactly.
That's why we brought the muscle.
Yes, exactly.
this never gets old, you know, having these guys around.
When you say, so pre-production is one thing, but have you determined, is this going to be a branching single-player storyline? Are we going to be playing multiple characters, multiplayer? Has any of that been brought to the table?
It's a linear single-player game, and what we're trying to do is really bring in a lot more freedom and choice in how you play the gameplay sections. So, but it's still going to be a linear roller coaster ride game.
And now you're creating your own hero for this adventure.
We can't talk about who you're actually going to be. You're going to have to stay tuned for that one as well, I'm afraid.
We're here. We're tuned. How long do we have to? How long do we have to stay? I can't. I mean, I don't want to do any. I don't want to be disrespectful of anybody who's working on the title.
No.
But it's so easy to look at it and go, wow, just be blown away by the look, the animations, and that's a testament to, I think, to LucasArts and all of its divisions coming together. It looks phenomenal, guys.
Thank you.
It really does. Yeah, thank you for showing it off. We really appreciate it.
Well, we can't wait to hear a release date when you guys are ready to share it. So thank you so much.
That time is now.
Yeah.
You don't? Okay, it's
It never works.
Okay. Kim, Dom, thank you guys so much.
Very much.
I appreciate it.
Right there, I'm already committing funds to that game. Speaking of games, so if you're going to have a musician involved with Dance Central 3, it's probably a good idea to find someone who can actually dance and not have the physicality of a drunk uncle at a wedding. Just a suggestion. Thank you, Candace Bailey, for laughing at my joke. So Harmonix gets an A+ for bringing on Usher.
When it comes to dance games, I am a huge fan. So when I heard that Dance Central 3 was teaming up with one of my favorite recording artists, Usher, I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I did that.
How did you get involved with the game?
Harmonix and myself came together in an effort to come up with choreography that I felt would be fitting for OMG and also Scream. You know, I really wanted to allow the fans to be able to have the experience. They've seen the videos, but now they'd have the opportunity to literally learn the dances and I teach them.
So have you gotten a chance to play, and what would you rate yourself?
I mean, I would rate myself like a genius. And like, I'm like excellent.
So humble, this one.
Yeah.
What kind of music, new music on this game, do you think the fans are going to be the most excited about?
Well, I would hope that they'd be excited about OMG and Scream, but no, there's plenty of other songs that I think they would really be, you know, responding to. In addition to my music, there's, you know, music that goes through different eras, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and 2000, and also different genres of music.
So when can people get their hands on the game?
It's a holiday game, so yeah. So you guys will be able to have it on.
Don't move, you guys, because coming up later, we are going to be demoing Dance Central 3 right on the G4's stage, and it's going to be awesome.
Don't go anywhere, because after the break, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 will be live on our stage. Find out why Treyarch's latest is all about choice. Plus the return of gaming's biggest franchises. There's Assassins, Spartans, and a whole lot more. Stick around.
Master Chief, deadly assassins, and tricky transformers. They're all here in one place. G4's live coverage of E3 is just getting started, and we got hands-on demos of every blockbuster game, including the series that defined the Xbox. You don't want to miss the first gameplay from Halo 4. Plus, robots in disguise fight to the death in the epic Transformers: Fall of Cybertron. And later, two deadly killers take their profession to the next level. Agent 47 unravels a sinister conspiracy in Hitman Absolution. And discover how bloody the revolution really was in Assassin's Creed 3. G4's exclusive coverage of E3 2012 continues right after this. G4's live coverage of E3 2012 is brought to you by the all-new Ford Focus ST.
Show floor at E3 in the most amazing bus conceivable. It's pros versus G.I. Joes, a bus designed to travel the United States and allow pro athletes to compete online in games like Call of Duty with active military personnel overseas. This is Greg. How did you come up with this idea?
First of all, welcome to the biggest, smallest booth at the E3 Expo. In terms of how to come up with it, I just came up with it first. Simple idea.
Dude, I love simple ideas so much so, I'm going to go see if I can get some kills in. I'll be right back. Thank you, Greg.
All right, folks, if there's one thing you can expect from the Call of Duty franchise, it is a linear single-player campaign, but that is not the case with Black Ops 2.
No, it is not. The next game in the Blockbuster series, it lets you tackle missions from multiple perspectives, and your choices actually have consequences, something Kevin knows nothing about. What? So we're going to go hands-on for more right now.
I'm sick. Joining us right now, Treyarch studio head Mark Lamia is here, everybody.
Yes.
Good to see you again, Mark.
Thank you.
So yesterday, you showed us some impressive gameplay. Today, it's all about the Strike Force missions, which, again, it's the Call of Duty experience is kind of known for being in a trench with these cinematic moments happening around it, but now we have choices as the player.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll have those cinematic levels like we showed you yesterday with Los Angeles, but now we have Strike Force levels. And in this case, there's a Strike Force level in Singapore here. And what's going on here, these are the proxy wars that are going on in the year 2025, and you get a choice to bring your Black Ops troop into one of these missions. You'll have a choice inside the campaign structure of which one of these you want to choose, which will drive the narrative forward. And I think, and that's not where it stops. So when you get dropped into this level, now whatever you want to play on the battlefield is yours. So right now he's in a tactical Overwatch mode. He's pulled out, he wants to get a lay of the land. He's able to lay waypoints down.
Love that, saw some enemy UAVs, little drones flying in.
Yeah, and then he can choose which one of these he wants to go in, move in on and play. So he's moved in on this Black Ops soldier here, he's got an XM8. He can move between these Black Ops soldiers. As he gets reinforcements, he can take over whatever's coming on the battlefield. So what's great about this is you're playing through the game, you're seeing all this cool technology in the year 2025. You'll experience some of that, but in these levels, there's a lot of it on the battlefield, and you can move to it and play it at any time.
I love that. Oh, this guy's pinned down. I wish I were him right now. I'd use his shotgun in this way. Oh, wait a minute. I'll just go be him.
That's right. That's right. And you could take on, in these missions, there's non-linear elements as well in terms of, what order you want to take on your objectives and so forth. And they're all going to be different. This one here is in Singapore. You need to take out these laser-guided sites here. You need to jam them so you can bring in your warship, because there's some cargo on this particular area you need to take out. So as reinforcements are coming in, he's going to be able to move to them. So he's setting some waypoints where he wants his soldiers to go. Now, I think this is really important, right? A lot of different people play Call of Duty. You can play this gun in hand, boots on the ground, like you played any Call of Duty level, right? I think the philosophy is accessibility but depth of gameplay.
I want to expand on that a little bit because, like you said, they can play it the way that they know how to experience Call of Duty. Traditionally, that meant that one ending. You play it a certain way and you get one ending. However, offering these different options like this are allowing people to have multiple endings and multiple experiences. What are the challenges in expanding the franchise from that very linear, streamlined campaign to what you guys are offering here, which, to my knowledge right now, means you have an infinite amount of things to do in this game. Right. So how do you still create that tight experience that this franchise is known for?
Well, one of the ways we've done it is, there's this campaign arc with your characters, right? And they will have branching storylines as well in that campaign. These are Black Ops teams. You'll know what JSOC's going to come to. You're not going to be playing as David Mason. You're going to be playing as a Black Ops unit. And these stories will, whatever the results of these, will affect the proxy wars and the Cold War in the year 2025. It's the geopolitical arc of the game. So we'll have multiple narrative threads running throughout Black Ops 2 that, based on how you play, will have an outcome and affect the outcome.
When you say whatever the results, in my head, when you see red and it goes, the screen bleeds out, you have to restart at a checkpoint because failure is literally not an option. But here it is.
In this case, it is an option. As a matter of fact, we've accounted for it. You could fail. You could run out of reinforcements, and then the game and the narrative will take account that this particular proxy war things didn't go well, and here's how it affects the geopolitical arc of the game. Now, if you want to go back and play, again, you can do that. You can play it at different difficulty levels, because it is sandbox gameplay. Sure. You could choose to play it in different ways. This is a live gameplay demonstration. He's playing it the way he wants to play it. He's now just taken over a quad. He's flying around. This is really fun. Okay? In Los Angeles, you saw quad gameplay that was totally different. I was using them as squad backup.
Right.
Right?
Which is incidentally how I would play in Warfare. I would pull back as far as I possibly can and tell everybody else what to do. You and I are very similar in that regard.
The meat shield approach. You guys go ahead. I'll hang out in the sky.
Now, we're seeing a lot of different enemies as well here. You're not just the traditional human enemies. So are there certain strategies involved when you're fighting, say, a drone or a robot as opposed to, a human enemy?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you come up, for example, when you come up against the Claw, the cognitive land assault weapon, that's that sort of tank-like heavy armored vehicle. That isn't going to get, normal bullets are not going to penetrate that. You have to have rockets or grenades, or you have to take out its legs. I mean, there's different strategies. Obviously, when you're flying. So right now, actually, he's just stepped into the boots of one of those claws.
Right.
It's got this heavy caliber weaponry on top. It also has explosive rounds. It'll be able to shoot. So,
and this is stuff that our military has right now, but we're not going to see until 2025, right?
This is all, all this stuff is either being prototyped or thought about or whatever. It's on the drawing boards.
Sure.
And what we've done is we've worked with futurists to kind of like set that out there. This is plausible technology that'll exist out there.
This exists in some form. It might be the size of 4 refrigerators, but
and it may not have a weapon on it right now. For example, right now you might have something that purpose is more like a mule to carry lots of equipment, right? And it might have a camera on it.
Right.
But you could imagine in the future, as we get more comfortable,
the Army
with
loves
this,
putting
it
miniguns on everything.
There's got to be somebody in our crowd that's going to enlist at some point that's like, Gatling guns must go on everything.
Absolutely.
And Mark just gave me that idea.
He's building them in his garage right now.
Right. That guy right there, look at him, he knows.
Okay,
He's ready to do it.
He's the watch list guy.
He is.
So, right now, of course, there are quad rotors. You could have even gotten one this holiday for you to fly around in and look at things, right?
Right.
It wouldn't have this kind of caliber weaponry on it, mind you. But I think that's the whole point with Black Ops. These guys, they get access to prototype weaponry, all the advanced technology and electronics. So that's kind of like, part of the fantasy of what you do when you're playing this game. And in this case, not only are you playing with it, but you're fighting against it.
Now, you said these, some of these missions are optional. You can choose which ones you want to do and potentially which order you want to tackle them in. How does that feed back into our single-player game accomplishments and perhaps multiplayer achievements?
So the campaign is separate from the multiplayer.
Entirely.
We keep it. There are 3 separate games. We got and even the way we balance our weapons and everything else. Like the campaign is set up for the campaign experience.
Love that.
Right?
So
multiplayer.
Don't ruin our friends' experiences.
Exactly.
The multiplayer is, as you guys know, with Call of Duty, it's like, we're not like that. That is its own experience, and zombies is of course its own experience altogether.
Yeah, and are zombies getting their own sort of single-player experience as well, like their own storyline?
We will have an entirely new zombies, bigger worlds, new game modes. It's its own game.
And I can mow down zombies with UAVs as well?
Well, we haven't shown you exactly what that is yet, but I'll be sharing it with you guys later.
I love it.
All right, sounds pretty cool, man. Hey, look, and a lot of this stuff seems to be born from what fans have said. I mean, you guys really pay attention to the fans. Obviously, your online community is one of the most robust in the video game industry. How much of this stuff was born from what fans said? Like, hey, we need more of this stuff. We want our own separate single-player thing from multiplayer. How much of the fans were you listening to when you guys made this particular?
Well, look, our fans, they are amazing, and they are very vocal. And we hear all kinds of things from them. I think one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to create variety of gameplay and bring new things to the campaign. That dovetails pretty nicely. We have a large fan base who loves the campaign, loves the cinematic structure, but they're also craving some new experiences in the campaign, and we want to give that to them. So I give a lot of credit to the team. This is something we prototyped for a long time before it made it here.
I bet.
And, it's not just new mechanics, it's all the things that you get to do in this. And the fact that it actually touches and affects the narrative as well, kudos to the team. They really went for it.
Listen, you guys have sizable laurels that you could have rested on easily and still been a #1 selling game and #1 pre-order game, but kudos on taking such a departure with it and still staying tried and true to the formula that made you so successful. It's a very delicate act, and it looks like you guys have pulled it off.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Kudos to you for saying somebody was fat in the nicest possible way.
No,
Sizable laurels.
No,
I like
the
that quite a bit.
laurels, the fruits of their labors, previous labors.
We get what you're saying, Kevin. So everybody behind us, everybody watching at home right now, Kevin and I included, when are we playing this game? When are we getting our hands on Black Ops 2?
Oh, you guys are playing it on November 12th. On November 13th.
Ah!
But we'll be playing it on the 12th.
Yeah, we'll be playing it on
You guys might actually be playing it on the 12th.
Good.
Awesome, Mark. Well,
thank
thank you so much for your time. Round of applause for Mark, everybody. The game was absolutely incredible.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Hey, the Twitter wall is already overflowing with your E3 tweets. Our staff is literally drowning in them right now. So sad. Here we have Joker's Grin, 1987. Treyarch is changing Call of Duty and making innovations that will change shooters forever. Bleed Until Death, Black Ops is looking awesome. I really am on the battlefield. And Zachary Stroud, can't wait for the new Star Wars movie. Oh wait, it's a game? Cannot wait to play it! Looks like y'all are so excited about these games. And you don't have to be funny or clever to win a game console in our E3 console giveaway. Remember, keep using the hashtag E3 on G4 when you tweet from G4TV.com/E3 sweeps. Now that will enter yourself for a chance to win a game console each hour. Woo!
All right, guys, next week we turn our attention away from the future and look to the past. G4 is counting down the top 100 video games of all time in 5 one-hour specials. Check out this sneak peek.
And now an arcade classic with all the right moves. The finger-tapping classic, Galaga.
First of all, bees. I am not a fan of bees, so this made me really happy to shoot space bees out of the sky.
Galaga was unleashed at arcades in 1981. The gameplay was familiar to fans of Space Invaders, but unlike its predecessor, the baddies in Galaga were bee-like creatures that zipped and swarmed at you with dizzying precision.
It's coming down to you. It will fly. It will come down and get your ass.
Galaga was the first cause of carpal tunnel syndrome because you got the joystick in one hand, the other hand, you got to hit it for every bullet.
I feel like Galaga was the game that kind of introduced us to the concept of the challenge stage. Everyone loved Galaga.
Favorite game make the cut? The battle starts Monday at 8. For more, go to g4tv.com/top100. Coming up, we are going to go hands-on with Tomb Raider, which is a reimagining of the iconic Lara Croft character. Plus, a look at Final Fantasy, the rhythm for the Nintendo 3DS, where you tap to the beat to defeat enemies and level up. We'll be right back.
Listen, it's been far too long since we've seen the deadly assassin, Agent 47, in action. It's actually back in 2006, to be exact. I was a wee little lad. In video game years, that's actually an eternity. So let's welcome him back with an exclusive demo of Hitman Absolution. Joining me now, Haken Abrak, the lead producer at IO Interactive. Please welcome him with your hands. How are you, sir? Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
The last time we saw Agent 47, I believe he was dead. He sort of had a little oopsie, faked his own death, and now he's back. The world's biggest my bad, I'm still alive. What has brought him back?
Well, he's been laying low for a while, but now he got this very unusual contract. He's been working for the agency, ICA, and his handler was Diana. Very well known for the other iterations in the franchise, and he gets a contract on Diana, the only link to the human world really for Agent 47. So this is a very personal story for Agent 47. We get really close to him and his emotions and all that, because he kills Diana, the agent turns on him, he's hunted by the police. Now he's seeking redemption in a corrupt and twisted world.
Who ordered the hit? I mean, or is that what we're trying to find out?
That's a part of the story.
I bet. I bet. So is that what we're seeing right now? The agent's just going up to every single person and saying, "Excuse me, did you tell me to kill Diana?" Is that how this game works?
No, this is a fairly early level in the game. It's Agent 47's collecting information about a girl called Victoria. It's a part of his secret absolution. That's the dying wish of Diana. So he needs to find some information about her, and this guy called Birdie has that. But he wants a favor from Agent 47. So this is a classical level where Agent 47 has to kill the crime lord, king of Chinatown. He's in the center of this level, so this is a classical kill sandbox gameplay for Hitman Absolution.
And that's the bread and butter of the Hitman franchise is sandbox gameplay. What is the approach that we're going to take to the mission here? Is it different than other approaches you've shown in the past?
There are so many different approaches to take him. I mean, it's up to you if you want to create mayhem. You know, our crowd technology here, if you want to pull out your guns and start shooting the target, King of Chinatown, who was lit up in red there, they will go in panic and it will kind of propagate.
You just walked by him, he could have thrown a punch.
But my friend here is playing a bit more, stealthy, silently, so he will be a bit more smart about it, and he will try to figure out, look for opportunities for accidental kills or other means of taking out the king, and maybe make it look like accidental kill so he can walk away unnoticed.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm the guns blazing. I would just shoot into the sky right now, let the crowd scatter.
Well,
and figure it out later.
That's perfectly viable as well. It's up to the player. I really want to give the choice to the player. If you want to go all guns blazing, well, that's compelling. You should have a compelling experience with that. But if you want to, have silent assassin or go unnoticed and feel
go for
smart
style
about
points
that,
or something.
well, should be very compelling to play like that as well.
Now you mentioned your crowd technology.
Yeah.
I know it was 2006 since we saw the last Hitman. In the years past, was it building the engine from the ground up? Was it bolting on new technology? What were you guys up to?
That's a part of it. It's been a long time since Blood Money, and it's because we with the things that we wanted to achieve with Absolution, with the very advanced AI and the crowd technology and the lighting, etc. We went for building up our in-house technology, a new engine from scratch. So that's a part of it. Took a long time.
Need some time to do stuff like that.
We want to do creatively, and we need to have the technology for that. We're really, really proud of what we have and what we can do with the game.
So what are some of the advanced features of the AI?
Well, we have introduced something called Instinct. Instinct that, before you would have this map that you could switch to and see it in a 2D map. But we really want to keep Agent 47 in the act. So he has this keen senses. He's a top-notch assassin, where he can kind of use his instinct and see who is the target or where are the dangers. And
okay, we saw that earlier. We're seeing it now, right? Okay.
The cops are lit in yellow and the target is red. And you can also see a path or a predetermined path, so you can anticipate where they're coming, right? So it's a map feature that's built into the game.
And we were talking before the interview started about like sort of propagation of emotions, where if you do cause panic, the AI will react to that, and then one man can run away and startle another crowd, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually, because if you take up a gun and shoot somebody, the crowd immediately around you will react to that. It will back off, and slowly, if you kill somebody, it will propagate out to the whole crowd, and the whole level will be impacted.
But yeah, we see when you explode a car,
something is
the crowd reacts as well.
So we just killed the King of Chinatown with remote explosives. So they don't know it's Agent 47 that did that. But everybody, explosive. Everybody is in panic right now, and the cops are, agitated. But he can just move past them without, because they don't know it's Agent 47.
I see why he took that approach versus my shoot in the air and then ask questions later.
Perfect.
That's incredible. So killing NPCs is one thing, but I always love murdering my friends. So on the multiplayer side of things, what will we have?
Agent 47 works alone.
So no multiplayer? I like that. Then you get to streamline it and sort of say, hey, this is the game we're going to make. This is the narrative we're going to tell.
Yes.
Now, depending upon how you beat a mission, will it affect the narrative of the single player?
Well, it will affect your ratings. I mean, ratings is a big part of our franchise. A lot of people post a lot of videos on YouTube. They still do that from Blood Money on, I did solve it this way, I got this rating.
Right.
Silent Assassin is kind of the really, really hard rating you get. It's very much in the game as well, how you solve it, very unseen, you do not agitate anyone, and all. There are a lot of variables there, so that does do a difference, right? So besides the overarching story, you also have, we have a living, breathing world with lots of dialogue. So all these stories dynamically evolving according to how you play it.
Love it. When will I get to play alone and murder everybody that I see? When do I get my hands on Hitman Absolution?
Well, you will get that pleasure the November 20th.
I love it. Hey, Brack, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Skylanders Spyro's Adventure is the definition of a surprise hit. Who would have thought that buying figures disguised as DLC would be so popular? Seriously, check eBay if you don't believe me. The world has taken to playing video games with physical toys in a big way, and it'll only get bigger with the release of Skylanders Giants this fall.
Playing with your toys just got a whole lot bigger thanks to Skylanders Giants, everybody. I'm here with Mike from Activision. Mike, you tell us a little bit about the game, Skylanders Giants. What makes it giant?
Well, Skylanders Giants is an all-new adventure for your Skylanders. Giants are physically bigger. They have lights inside that light up when you put them over the portal of power. There's no batteries in it. It's sort of like a new layer of gameplay on top of the game of playing with your normal Skylanders.
So I can use my previous Skylanders toys and I can plug them right in here and I'm going to play with the Giants.
Exactly. Every character that you already have in your collection is compatible, works in Giants. You can bring them into the game. They come into the game exactly the way you left them off with all their powers and upgrades and everything intact.
Great. So Skylanders Giants comes out this fall, right?
Yep.
Now what platforms is that available for?
It's going to be on the Wii, on the Xbox 360, on the PS3, on the 3DS.
And now how much is it going to cost me to get started?
$74.99.
There you have it, folks. Proving once again, bigger is indeed better.
All right, guys, coming up, Lara Croft Croft takes a page from Nathan Drake in her latest game.
Yeah, we're gonna go hands-on with the bloody, action-packed reboot of Tomb Raider. More from E3 right after this.
G4's live coverage of E3 2012 is brought to you by GameFly, the best way to rent and buy games.
Check this out, before you even get into E3, you're getting hit with stuff. Look at this, we have a freaking Mustang parked out front. If you like World War II games, let me show you my favorite thing to come out of World War II. The lovely, beautiful pinup girls. So, God bless America.
Square Enix is not afraid to try out a new genre with the Final Fantasy brand. There have been MMOs, hardcore strategy titles, there's even a shooter.
Yes, and now they've got a music rhythm game on the way.
Of course.
Listen, you tap to the beat,
right.
You kill monsters,
Yep.
you get gear, you level up. That makes perfect sense.
Totally.
Believe it or not, Final Fantasy continues with theater rhythm, but this time it's all about the music. All right, guys, I'm here with Ryo Mitsuno to find out all things Final Fantasy theater rhythm. Thanks for talking with us. So how is theater rhythm different from other Final Fantasy entries?
So Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy actually celebrates the 25th anniversary of the franchise. It's actually the first time Final Fantasy has done a music game, a rhythm game. And this has a collection of all the memorable tracks from all your favorite Final Fantasies for the last 25 years. There's 3 stages. One's called the event music stage. You'll tap and hold and swipe your stylus according to the cursor that moves. And behind the cursor, you'll see a bunch of the classic moments and the scenes from that particular FF game. In the battle music stage, your 4 party members will actually go head-to-head against a lot of the classic monsters from all the series. And in the field music stage, your characters will take turns traversing across a field that's set to the background of whatever Final Fantasy you're playing. It's due out on July 3rd. We're just opening it up for people to just experience the whole game.
Awesome, great. That's a very quick release date. I like that. I'm excited to get my hands on it.
We are only an hour into today's live coverage, and our Twitter wall is full of tweets about E3. Let's see, 42 Pixels says, I have never played Hitman before, but the demo on E3 on G4 looks so amazing that I now have a reason to. Yes, I think we all have a reason to. You should go out and buy it. It looks awesome. Afro Thunder, I actually stopped playing Skyrim to watch E3 on G4. The only thing better. Seriously, you stopped playing Skyrim? I think I speak on behalf of everyone here when I say we are honored. Keep those live demos coming. We've got 4 more hours, so don't worry. They're going to keep on coming at you. And if you want a shot at winning a console, be sure to tweet with the hashtag E3 on G4 from G4TV.com/E3 sweeps. That'll enter you for a chance to win an Xbox 360 in the next hour.
I am not ashamed to admit that I will be buying Candace Bailey's dress from the wardrobe sale for myself. Stick around because we've got a huge demo coming up after the break. We are going to go hands-on with Gears of War Judgment, which takes you back to some of the bloodiest battles against the Locust Horde. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to E312 Live. We have got demos of all the biggest games lined up in the next hour.
There's Tomb Raider, which is a gritty new take on Lara Croft. Case in point, she kills people with a bow and arrow.
Plus a game that'll get you off your couch and shaking your hindquarters. Dance Central 3.
Well, it'll get you shaking
Yeah,
quite a bit.
that's right, it will.
It's okay to be excited for Candace shaking the hind. And later, a shooter filled with cute enemies and chest-bursting fun. It's Gearbox's Aliens, Colonel Marines.
Woo! Blair has got our next hands-on.
Thank you guys way over there. I appreciate it. All right, guys, after the ending of Gears of War 3, did you really think that will be the last time we see the Locust? You don't know anything about your franchise, sir. Let me finish this. Not a chance. Gears of War Judgment takes you back to a time before the events of the Gears trilogy, when fan favorites Baird and Coltrane were criminals. So let's go hands-on. All right, guys, joining us today is Epic Games Director of Production, Rod Ferguson. I have so much fun saying that, my friend. And Fred Tatasciore, voice of Baird, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
Thank you both.
Good to
for
be
being
here.
Rod, first question I got to ask you, man. Did you really need more money? You got Cliff driving a Lambo. Cliff sending your kid to college.
Cliff's driving one. I've got a minivan, so
okay.
let's
Fair
be
enough,
clear.
fair enough. All right. Listen, everybody wanted more Gears. We knew that it wasn't going to be the end of this. So where are we right now in the Gears of War franchise? Obviously, there was a story that you already told with the first 3.
Right.
So what happens in this particular game?
We're about 14 years before Gears of War 1. I mean, basically, we looked at, hey, what's a good character we haven't explored yet? That was Baird. What's a good time we haven't explored yet? That was around E-Day. So it's a couple weeks after E-Day. It's a whole new time when the Locusts are scary again. So it's a great time to visit, and we get to get some backstory on Baird.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you bring that up, because first I have to ask you, because you're going to be the new breakout star. So did Carlos call you at all and go, hey, man, don't do too good of a job, because they're going to kill you at some point?
About every day. I get a call from him and John with a little bit of some threats, and I'm really ashamed of that.
Right, but how do you channel the voice of Baird? Obviously, this is a character that people already have an idea about, but you're the guy that's really fleshing him out here in the game.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, first
no
of all,
pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. How do I flesh him out? Well, it's that part of us that's a rogue, and you know, they gave such a great description and created such a great character to jump into, and I love walking in his boots. The vocally, you know, he's a lot like my family back east, using a little of that, a little bit of the styling. It's kind of a Dennis Leary-ish quality to him, but then you just sort of figure him out as you go, and you find out what rings true, and it becomes almost second nature. It's been so fun to live with this guy for so long.
Now, have you walked around the show floor? I know the show just started, but have you walked around and are people like, where do I know that from?
No,
Who's that guy?
you know, I'm able to, nobody recognize. Sometimes
Until
my
now.
voice.
Until
Until now.
now.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Enjoy it now.
I know. No, it's great. Some people get it when they hear my voice, but not usually.
Might I recommend growing a beard, because everybody knows Rod from that. So if they don't recognize you from the voice,
You know,
I wish I could grow that beard. I can't grow that beard. I look scary.
Now I have to ask you this question. We ask it to every actor and every creative that comes on the show. Did you actually play Gears before you got into the Baird character? And are you as good as Baird at killing things?
No, I suck at playing. No, I was not aware of him until I started, you know, acting it out. But no, now I love it. I'm a terrible player, but it's to me, I feel like I've lived the game. So it's kind of another side of it. So I get equal enjoyment hearing about people playing the game, and you know, all the stuff I had to go through. Right, a little different. Now, Rod, I want to talk about kind of the nuts and bolts. You know, you guys have obviously, you had an event last night that us TV people can't come to because we have to get up early. But you showed off some of the stuff with the new Gears game. What do you think people are taking to the most? I know you guys had an idea that what you brought here, but what are people taking to the most here at E3 this year?
Well, we're really showing off Overrun. So we have a whole new mode. It's essentially Horde versus Beast, if you will. It's a class-based game type we've never had before, so you can play as a medic or an engineer, a scout, a soldier. And it's this really competitive 5v5. Over-the-top, crazy, battle between the Locust monsters and this class-based cog. So people had a lot of fun. Like we brought extra people for seat fillers and we didn't use them, so it was awesome.
Now we've obviously talked so much in the past about your online community and everything that they've done for you, not only in terms of supporting what you guys do, but also developing what you guys do in the future. Was this born out of stuff that you'd heard about in the past, or is this something you guys have been wanting to work into games?
Yeah, I mean, when we did the press for Gears of War 3, there was a lot of that both with journalists and fans that were saying, like, hey, how come you have these two co-op modes, but how come they're not competitive? And honestly, we tried it, and it just didn't work balance-wise. But then when we came up with the class-based system, this time, it all came together, and now it works great.
All right, and let's talk a little bit about the mission declassification system for people that are, been reading about it or whatever, but don't really understand what it is.
Well, so basically what's interesting about the game is Baird is on trial, and as you see from the trailer, and basically you're playing the testimony of the and when you go into it, you can play the mission as it is, or there's actually certain areas of the mission that are classified, and you can choose to declassify it and make it public knowledge, but it adds extra challenge, and so you may have to play it a certain way or add different types of enemies and those sorts of things. So it's a whole new way of going through and having that replayability of what you choose to declassify or not.
I'm not going to declassify anything because that sounds like more difficulty, and I'm already not very good at the stuff. And let's talk about some of the new multiplayer modes. Outside of what you guys have shown, what else are you guys excited to talk about, and what are we going to show?
I mean, there is more multiplayer. That's the one thing people are looking at the announcement of Overrun and going like, oh, that's the only thing that's in Judgment, and that's not the case. There's definitely more multiplayer, but right now it's really all about Overrun is what we're showing, but we'll have more to show in the future. So, no for you.
Thank you for that coy answer, Ron. I really
spending time with you.
That.
I want to come back again and talk about new things.
We'll talk over Mantinis later, sir,
yes,
and
absolutely.
I will tweet out what you reveal later on today. So I want, Fred, if you can, please answer me this if you have the answer. In your best bear,
oh, sure.
When does Gears of War Judgment come out?
Let's see. I don't think he knows. He doesn't really know anything about the franchise.
Okay,
like
yeah, right. That's
we're
why
talking about early 2013.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
That, right?
was really bad.
That's right.
That was good.
Early 2013. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, Rod. Thank you so much. Big round of applause for these guys right here, Rod and Fred from Gears of War Judgment.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, today we have seen hands-on demos of new games from 4 established franchises, but who reigns supreme? We're going to break it all down in this Kit Kat news break. Joining us is GameSpeed Editor-in-Chief Dan Shu, and of course our very own Mr. Kevin Pereira.
I saw an empty chair. I sat in it.
Perfect. So on the show today, we have seen God of War, we've seen Black Ops 2, we've seen the new Gears of War, and of course a gritty new Star Wars game. Which stands out the most to you, Dan?
Well, I think Black Ops 2 kind of has the most to prove, you know. They have a good showing too, though. It's just loud, a lot of explosions, gunfire, bullets. So I think just by nature of the gameplay, it has a good showing because it can't help but look kind of cool and exciting, you know.
So you're a little bit worried about maybe how it's actually going to end up?
Yeah, I think they have a lot to prove because we're getting fatigued, right? But I said this last year, and then Modern Warfare 3 sells like crazy. I said this the year before, Black Ops sells like crazy. So I'm probably going to be wrong, but people are kind of getting tired of these shooters. And when you look at Black Ops 2, it doesn't really look that much different, even though you have the futuristic stuff in there. You know, it looks like Call of Duty again. So I think they have a lot to prove to kind of say, hey, we can evolve, we can continue making cool games, and this is different from the last few Call of Duties.
Do you agree with that, Kevin?
Yeah, on the what to prove front, I definitely agree. I mean, it seems like the approach this time is, okay, we're going to iterate again. Some people say that, Call of Duty and even Battlefield to some extent, that they're the sort of the Maddens of the shooter world. You can expect one every year. There's going to be slight tweaks, slight changes, but fundamentally it's the same gameplay. What I did like was that, when talking about those side missions with branching paths that are optional and they affect the storyline, you can fail at them. When talking about zombie mode, which is going to be a completely new experience this time, not just an add-on mode, but with its own single player. Mark was saying that there's a whole dedicated team just to that. I think it's clear that they're trying to prove, hey, we're going to bolt on some new stuff to this because they can't change the tried and true formula because they make bazillions of dollars on it every year. So I think they're trying to prove to other gamers that are experienced Call of Duty fatigue that there is something new there. But what was really impressive to me, and I want to see more of it, was Star Wars 1313. The graphical fidelity on that alone, I'm a PC gamer, tried and true. That was what I was raised on. And graphical advancements in that field are happening. The consoles, they're slowing down. We know this. We're waiting for the next gen. On the PC side of things, they can push it. And if you look at that game, it's clearly raising the bar.
But they couldn't even prove, they couldn't even say what consoles we were going to see it on, if we're even going to see it on a PC. So, I mean, it might just seem like a bunch of show, maybe even at this point.
It was definitely, were there smoke and mirrors? Yeah, they were pretty smoke and mirrors, though. Those are smoke and mirrors that I want to see turn into a fully fleshed out game.
But it's also Star Wars, right? Sure. I think they have no pressure on them because I don't think we have anything to expect from Star Wars anymore, right? Like, when's the last time you're like, this is going to be a great Star Wars game, I can't wait for it, and it
was better with Kinect, and I could swing my saber, that's for sure.
That was not better with Kinect. Okay, so if you could take one game home with you right now, what would it be?
Black Ops 2. Because I can make a lot of friends if I brought home an early copy of Black Ops 2, and I need the friends.
You could probably make a lot of money, too.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, I think that would be like, as much as I criticize Call of Duty, it's still a game I play. I still love Zombies mode in Black Ops 1, so I'm really excited to play the new Black Ops Zombie mode.
Yeah, Call of Duty certainly looks great. Surprisingly enough for me, God of War. I thought I was kind of done with Kratos a little bit. I mean, I've played certainly a metric ton of him before, but as I was watching that demo going on and just seeing, you forget how beautiful the mechanics are, how fluid the animation is, and watching some of the different enemy types, and knowing that I'll be able to play multiplayer for the first time, that's exciting. I found myself kind of twitching.
Really? I thought they looked kind of samey. I'm like, if I didn't pay attention to specific enemies, I'm like, that kind of looks like all the old God of Wars to me.
I'm totally okay with that. I mean, I like it being ramped up. I do want to try multiplayer. Yeah, it's a little bit of the same, but I mean, so is Call of Duty.
Yeah,
so is everything else.
Everything we're
yeah,
talking
we're
about.
watching a lot of threequels and prequels to franchises that just wrapped up their threequels. So that is kind of the theme this year.
I do like how Kratos seemed a little bit lighter on his feet.
Yes, he's more nimble.
He's more nimble. He's
appears
younger.
unlockable in Dance Central, I think.
All right, thanks, guys. Let's send it over to Candace before Kevin dances.
Thank you.
Thanks. Coming up, the real reason why I came to work today. That's because you'll see me bust a move when we go hands-on with Dance Central 3. We will be right back.
G4's live coverage of E3 2012 is brought to you by Kit Kat Bars. Break time, anytime.
All right, welcome back. Now, last year at E3, a gaming icon got a drastic makeover, would be an understatement.
She seems to be getting younger and younger.
She is aging backwards, as most ladies would like to do, and dudes. The reboot of Tomb Raider put a new spin on the archaeologist that's almost as pretty as Indiana Jones.
Almost. This Lara Croft is young, inexperienced, and in way over her head. Let's go hands-on for a closer look.
All right, guys, here to walk us through this new take on Tomb Raider is Carl Stewart, Global Brand Director at Crystal Dynamics. Everybody welcome Carl to the show. All right, Carl, the first question, we need some clarification here.
Okay.
Is this a reboot? Is it a prequel? Do those words even mean different things?
Alternate universe?
What is this in the game world?
This is a full reboot. This is going back to day one to tell an origin story about how Lara Croft becomes Lara Croft.
And how does Lara Croft become Lara Croft?
Well, she's 21 years of age, as we presented last year. She's 21, she's straight out of college, her first ever adventure, so we don't know anything about her. This is really the first time that we've encountered this young girl, so really what we're trying to do is take players along this journey. You know, we gave you a snippet yesterday at the Microsoft press briefing of where we're taking the game in the next sort of few months when we start presenting more. But right now it's about the emotion. It's about bringing you closer to Lara Croft so that you can really feel how the evolution of the character is going.
And what are we looking at right here? I mean,
So right
she's
now-
drinking water right now, but...
Yeah, apart from drinking water. So right here, she's last year's demo, the first part of it, we broke free. We showed from the den. We showed her on this cliff, looking out at this mystery, all these different ships and vessels from around different periods of time. And this is about 2 or 3 minutes on. Now she's realized she needs to get some warmth. She needs to get something to drink. She needs to get some food. So we're sort of taking the player on this, as we keep saying, a journey. Really, we want the player to feel like they've understood how she ended up in this situation and how she's grown stronger. If you think of Batman Begins, the first third of that movie was about breaking down Batman and reimagining him and showing him that when he got his mask for the first time, you went, that's a Batman I can relate to. So really, that's what we're trying to achieve with this, is to bring her through the ringer and then show her how she gets stronger.
Yeah, and you're definitely, I mean, like, whatever your college girlfriends did to you, I'm so sorry, because Lara here is learning things the hard way. Obviously, we can see here in this game, you know, the fire element being one of them. There's that enhanced level of survivability, I guess you would say, in this game. But people are really familiar with this franchise. There's a certain amount of acrobatics that Lara possesses, obviously gunplay. What are we going to see as far as changes concerned in that level?
So some of the biggest changes you'll see is that really we've taken the pillars of Tomb Raider, which used to be puzzles and exploration and combat, and we've reimagined them for today's audience. So they'll still have the inherent pillars, because that was the formula of Tomb Raider for so long. Sure. But now it's about smart, resourceful Lara. So instead of pulling levers and reading your journal and moving blocks, now you get to analyze the situation around you. You know how fire works, you know how water works. You start to think, I can solve this like human. I don't have to think about sort of mysteries all the time. So really we've taken the pillars of Tomb Raider and we've built upon them to make it a little bit more immersive than we've ever had in the Tomb Raider in the past.
So can we use this as a survival tool? So are we gonna actually learn something from this game?
No, I think
this is an educational game.
Is this an educational game?
Yeah, no, I think what
we need more of those. People always ask us about them, and we're like, there's the typing game I played.
Yeah, no, I think there's a big differentiation between sort of survival in the sense of picking berries and drinking your own pee, and survival in that she's been forced to come into a situation where she's had to think about it. She's had to do things which are totally uncomfortable. You know, in the code that we show behind closed doors, we show her having to kill somebody for the first time. Right. That's a very emotional thing. You know, none of us want to go through it, of course, but we try and portray it in a way where, you know, it's not about getting out and just sort of picking things up and thinking, I need all these water, pack in my backpack, or I need these food. So it's all about sort of the personal survival, the personal journey.
And are we going to see the moment where she discovers that she can dual-wield pistols and have unlimited ammo? When she discovers that particular survival skill?
So one of the things we'll say is that Tomb Raider has a lot of iconism. So it's been around for a long time, and it's had things which players latch onto and remember. We want to make sure that, much like Batman getting his mask, when these things happen in this game, you'll remember them. Like the first kill, you'll remember the moment that you came across something, and it will stick with you for the rest of your days playing Tomb Raider.
And what is Lara working on right here?
So in this area, we've brought her in. We sort of teach you about hunting. So she gets her bow, which is kind of the first piece of, we say, sort of a life-saving equipment or gear. You'll see that improve as the game goes through. But in these spaces, you remember in Tomb Raiders before where it was all linear. It was like these binary movements of jumping from ledge to ledge, and really down these long caverns. Now we've opened up these larger spaces. We're not an open world game, but we try to give the player the opportunity to come into these places and do a bit of platforming, move around, sort of see sort of the dynamics of her physique, her movement. Here in particular, she's sort of been hungry, so she has to go and eat. So she's got to go and kill this poor deer. You know, and she's a bit remorseful about it when she does it, which is nice. We get to see a little bit of a side of Lara that we've never seen before.
Now, this is the comic nerd in me asking this question, but were you influenced at all by Andy Diggle, I believe, wrote the Green Arrow reboot? Because he also was stranded on an island. He was like, oh, you know, I think I could build a bow. Oh, I'm pretty good at bows. Now I'm killing everything.
You know what?
Did that happen at all?
No, we take a lot of inspiration from a lot of things. You know, bows are sexy right now. Right?
They are.
They're the things that people are latching onto. But certainly we've looked at everything from movies to games to video to TV shows. Really what we're trying to bring is something very unique and dynamic inside the game. Something that the players will feel closer to. You know, we've got dynamic camera, which brings you closer into the scene, pulls you back out when you see verticality. So it's about giving the player an experience, which we believe we certainly haven't delivered before, and we're excited to bring this new Tomb Raider.
So now we're going to see, obviously, pistols at some point. Not to give anything too much away, we're going to see bow and arrow. Are we going to be armed in any other ways?
I don't want to give too much away.
Okay.
The goal is, as we get through the year, you'll get beyond this sort of journey phase where she has to kill for the first time, and then we'll see the rationale and the reasoning why we equip her in the way we do. There's a lot of gear gating, there's a lot of sort of rationale between saving her friends and why she's doing things. So you'll see as we go through before March 5th how we get to that point in time.
All right, no spoilers.
That's a yes, by the way.
Totally
we are
a
going to
yes.
see other weapons.
All right, when can we expect to see Tomb Raider hitting store shelves?
So March 5th, 2013 is the date that we've stuck our stick in the ground and we're heading towards.
I like it. All right, thank you so much for coming by.
problem.
We appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much.
Round of applause for this gentleman right here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Looks awesome. Now, Defiance is a new show coming to Sci-Fi this fall. Defiance is also an MMO shooter set to debut at the same time. Coincidence? No, of course not. The two mediums are working together, and Jessica Chobot has more.
Guys, I'm here at the Defiance booth with Cass, one of the characters from the game. Now, Cass, am I right in saying that gamers will be able to affect the storyline that we see on TV?
Absolutely. The gamers will have a direct effect on the story.
I wonder if that means that they're affecting us right now.
Creepy! Well, guys at home, don't forget Defiance the game and the TV show on Sci-Fi launching at the same time. It sounds pretty awesome. Make sure and check it out.
All right, stay with us. We've got a ton of new games on the way, including the latest on Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed. And Transformed means that you'll be taking to the air in this kart racer. More from E3 right after this short break.
All right, what's got more blood than a Texas Roadhouse? It's definitely got more skin than a girl's locker room. And more severed heads than the French Revolution. Oh, thank you so much. Lollipop Chainsaw, where you play a lady with a chainsaw. But what's better than playing Lollipop Chainsaw is actually getting into a fight with Juliet. Bam! From La Ha! It's E3, it's all live! Oh my God!
No! She went for his downstairs mix-up. Welcome back to E3 12 Live! We're coming to you from the floor of the Los Angeles Convention Center. And please, while you're at it, use your internet machine. Go to G4TV.com for more E3 coverage presented by the all-new Ford Focus ST. Now listen, there are a couple reasons why you should check out the Dance Central Series. One, it has the best use of Kinect motion controls, which means it actually works. And two, it will placate any girlfriend that hates video games. You're welcome. You'll understand after we demo the latest from Harmonix. It's Dance Central 3. Here to walk us through the project, director Matt Bach, everybody. Welcome him. Embrace him. Audibly. How are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm great. Yeah, so now, you've been on the Dance Central team since there was before a Dance Central, right?
Before there was a Dance Central.
Is it safe to say this is your baby?
It's safe to say that I've been working on Dance Central longer than I've been in any relationship.
Okay, that's fair then. I'm going to call it your baby. It's always about the new modes, because we know the tried and true gameplay of Dance Central is, of course, dancing, matching moves, and having a good time with a phenomenal soundtrack. But what are the new modes that you're bringing out this year?
So we're bringing out a bunch of new modes. We have new gameplay and also new ways to play. So we have a party mode. It's instantaneously accessible. Load up at a party. It cycles through songs.
Oh, nice.
Skip songs you don't want to play. Raise your hand and you're in and playing. So for those times when the menus are a little bit, hard to control because you might have been partying too hard, we have a mode for you.
When I'm trying to balance after too many Jack and Cokes and tumbling over. Got it.
We also have an awesome 4v4 crew showdown, and that crew throwdown actually, and it has all the modes in the game: the performance mode, the battle mode, in addition to the new gameplay we'll be showing off. The new gameplay we have is Make Your Move, which we'll be demoing later, and Keep the Beat. Make Your Move is like Dance Horse. You get to invent a dance move, we build a flashcard for you, and you challenge the other player to do that move. When you make 4 moves, we build you a routine, and you can dance along to that routine.
So custom serving. You can serve somebody with your own move.
Exactly.
Can we see this now? I think it looks like we have Candace standing by, and then I believe choreographer Marco Segure is over there as well. Hello, guys. So this is can you walk us through what they're about to do? This is
What's going on?
This is one of the new game modes here?
Yep, so right now Marcos is building his move.
Okay. He's doing a little rope climb action there. So now the game now is watching his move.
You're not good at
So
this either.
he might have messed up his rhythm a little bit. We're going to give him another chance to get the same move.
And so he has 4 pass-throughs to sort of get his move down. The game will analyze that, sort of average out the movement, see how he's moving, and create the flashcard from it?
Yep, create a flashcard and create great detection for it. We give you a little prompt, so say, hey, make a silly move, make a classic move, make a funny move, give you a little suggestion if you don't quite know what to do.
So you're not doing the emo shuffle with your hands in your pockets, looking down at the ground, and that's it? There's just nothing going on there? And so you literally can do... So now, is Candace supposed to match his move, or is she gets to do whatever she wants?
So she's going to get to do whatever she wants, and then he will get to match that move afterwards.
Okay. So she's doing the Hey, How Are You? That's a college staple.
I got an egg!
Ooh, not quite.
What? You're X to me, left and right over here.
Well, I was going to, so I'm glad the game did it for us. So after you make this move then and you play it back, are you just playing to a generic song, or does it sync it up to other tracks that are the game?
So the whole time you're listening to whatever song you pick. So all the new modes are compatible with every single song on the Dance Central 3 soundtrack, in addition to all the DLC for Dance Central 2,
really?
All the DLC for Dance Central 1, and all the disc songs that you can export from Dance Central 1 and 2.
That's insane. And potentially any
so
way
over 150 songs.
A huge library that you can do hilariously embarrassing moves like Candace was too. That's impressive. Any chance to maybe share some of those replays or share those moves with the Dance Central community?
We'll be talking about online features later on.
I thought maybe that'd be one way to get it out of you. Now, how do we talk about, like, of course, the soundtrack is immense here. What are some of the artists you've been working with? What are some of the songs you're announcing?
So we have a great partnership with Usher. He performed an awesome performance at
I've heard of him. I saw him.
E3 Microsoft presser. And he has actually made choreography for 2 of his songs for the game. One is Scream, and one is OMG.
OMG, yeah.
Scream is his new single, so that's been great. In addition, this Dance Central has more derivative choreography than any other Dance Central, and actually more than I think all the previous Dance Centrals combined.
Really?
So this time we're taking you back in time. There'll be a story mode that involves time travel. We'll be talking more about that later.
But I can assume perhaps dancing through the ages with maybe some classical moves that we may have known.
So we're actually going to teach you dance crazes from those decades by taking you back in time. So you're going to learn the hustle, you're going to learn the electric slide, and we'll even teach you how to Dougie.
Oh, fantastic. I've been waiting for someone to teach me how to Dougie. Thank you for bringing that. When do we actually get to play? When will I, too, be able to Dougie?
Holiday this year.
All right, that's vague but specific enough. I'll accept it, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, my pleasure.
Always fun, and I love that you have a party mode in there now because I love throwing it on. Appreciate it. That is it, Dance Central 3, but now we send it over to Blair and Morgan.
Candace did not stop dancing.
She did not.
For 11 minutes.
Yep.
You can stop now. It's okay. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed isn't just another kart racing game featuring classic Sega characters. although you would assume that based on the title.
Right.
This one actually has a twist.
This follow-up has you taking vehicles from land to the air, which should have totally happened in real life by now, but whatever, here's your first look.
Still dancing.
There's a serious problem going on the convention floors, and it's ring addiction. But if you're looking for your fix, Sonic's All-Stars Racing Transformed is a good place to start. You need some help, buddy. So Joe, Sonic is back, and he's been running for years and years and years. Is he tired or what? Because you guys gave him vehicles.
Sonic can obviously run, right? So we needed to put him in a vehicle, and obviously we wanted to make it fair for the other characters that he's going to be racing against, because otherwise he'd just win if he was running, right?
So what's the deal with this transforming feature I hear of?
The vehicles all transform, so everybody's got 3 vehicles. As you're racing, you'll fall into the water and you'll transform into a boat, and then, yeah, and stuff like that. So the key word is transformation for the whole game.
What systems can we find this on, and when is it coming out? I gotta know.
Okay, so the systems are PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, 3DS Vita, and Wii U. It's going to be out full this year. I don't think they've actually confirmed the specific release date, but yeah.
All right, Joe, thank you so much. It sounds awesome. Actually, it sounds really awesome. Can you move? I want to play. Sorry. Hi.
All right, coming up, a good excuse to break out your favorite Bill Paxton impersonation. Game over, man. Okay, sorry, Morgan. Take it away.
Yeah, Gearbox's Randy Pitchford is coming by to show off his latest game, Aliens Colonial Marines. We'll be right back.
Check it out, you guys. I'm here at Konami, where they have taken the classic property of Frogger and updated it. This is an iOS game, pinball, but what they've done here for E3 2012 is they've given us a physical interface for this, a full pinball machine. I just hit the paddles right here. It activates the paddles on the screen, and instead of dodging cars, I'm trying to kill bugs. It's a lot of fun.
Thanks, Matt. Now, the most frequently asked video game question we get at G4 is this: when is a new Kingdom Hearts game coming out? And now, we can actually finally tell you something for certain. It's this July. So let's hit the floor for a look at Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance.
I'm here with Ryu to talk a little Kingdom Hearts 3D for the Nintendo DS. Tell me about the game.
Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance is our brand new Kingdom Hearts title. Specifically for the 3DS, there's obviously Street Pass. There's the AR elements. You could actually pre-order the game right now and get a couple of AR cards that will unlock special Dream Eaters.
Apparently they're actually useful in this game.
There are unique kind of creatures that exist only in the sleeping worlds. There's good ones called spirits, bad ones called nightmares, and they'll actually fight alongside Sora and Riku and be kind of your party members. There's over 50 kinds. They range from really cute-looking cats to really mean-looking dinosaurs, so there's a wide range that fits anyone.
And traveling between worlds in Kingdom Hearts has always been a key component of the game. How has it changed in Dream Drop Distance?
In this game, Sora and Riku do what's called the dive mode. They're actually diving headfirst through kind of the portal between the worlds.
And dive mode is different from the drop system, so tell me about that.
You're actually going to play them pretty much alternating. In the sleeping worlds, your characters will fall asleep after a certain amount of time. But yeah, basically you'll switch over to another character and you'll play as that story.
Is there a release date?
It's July 31st for Nintendo 3DS.
Well, I know this is going to make Kingdom Hearts fans very happy. Thanks for talking with us.
All that's going to do is generate more emails for the X-Play inbox.
Yes, it is.
Kingdom Hearts fans can't get enough. All right, up next on the show, last year's most time-consuming game gets even more content. Bethesda Todd Howard will be here to talk about the first expansion for the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Plus, we'll go hands-on with Aliens Colonial Marines. Acid blood will be spraying all over your screen in just a few minutes.
about E3 so far. Zero P1. Love the X Factor mode in Dance Central 3. It's giving X's left and right. I feel bad for Candace Bailey 5. Don't feel bad for me. Honestly, it just couldn't keep up. It doesn't know how good of a dancer I am. That's the truth. Lil Scuba, getting my E3 on G4 fix. I can't seem to get enough. I feel like a kid on Christmas morning. I think we all do here. This is the Christmas of G4, of all gaming. It's awesome. It's so exciting on this floor. Brysa Free, I made sure my schedule was free this week so I could watch E3 on G4 with my favorite TV people. Thanks, guys. You're so sweet. And now it's time to give away an Xbox 360. And even though Miss McClady didn't get on the Twitter wall, they did just win an Xbox 360 from our E3 console giveaway. So if you want to score a prize of your own, all you have to do is use the hashtag E3 on G4 after heading over to g4tv.com/E3 sweeps to enter for a chance to win. And in the next hour, one lucky tweeter will win a PlayStation 3.
That sounded easy. Coming up in the next hour, you'll have a close encounter with some xenomorphs from LV-426. That means we're going hands-on with aliens, colonial marines, and then we'll take another outer space menace in Dead Space 3. We're gonna take them for a ride. The crap will be scared out of you right after this. That's a promise.
Things here at E3 are already getting super crazy. I'm walking around here on the PlayStation Sony booth, and there's tons of people around. I'm getting a little nervous, so I thought I'd go ahead and get myself some extra security and try and find the biggest, beefiest guy I can find on the show floor. Not you, Smalls, whatever. Get the hell out of here. What's up, Daddy?
G4's live coverage of E3 2012 is brought to you by GameFly, the best way to rent and buy games.
Welcome back to E3 12 Live. We have still got hours of coverage on the way with in-depth look at all of the show's most wanted games, including Dawn Guard, the first expansion to Skyrim.
That was a game that did quite well last year, if I remember.
A couple of us played it for, I don't know, a couple hours.
Yes, much to the chagrin of our significant others and our animals in our lives. Also on the way, 2 bloody horror titles. You're going to see Dead Space 3 right on this stage, as well as Capcom's totally over-the-top Resident Evil 6. But for now, let's send it over to Kevin for our next hands-on demo.
Thank you, sir, for sending it over to me. Aliens, Colonial Marines is the closest thing we're ever going to see to a real sequel to James Cameron's Aliens, because I pretend that Alien 3 does not exist. A lot of you do, too. So grab your pulse rifles and get ready for war. Here now with the Xenomorph killing sim is Gearbox Software President and CEO Randy Pitchford, everybody. How are you, sir?
Thank you, doing great.
How are you holding up? I saw you yesterday, you were fresh as a daisy.
I love E3. This
Yeah?
is the moment. This is our big show. This is when we get to show off our work, when all the hard work gets a chance to shine.
Well, let's talk Colonial Marines. Let's let it shine.
Okay.
Tell me about it. Where are we? When are we?
You know,
is this prequel, sequel? What's this madness?
The story takes place after the events of the original Alien trilogy. So it is the sequel, the in-canon 20th Century Fox blessed sequel to Aliens as a video game.
They anointed you. They with a scepter on.
I can't believe they try. I feel like, you know, I'm living a dream. Like if someone would have bet me in college, you know, after watching this movie like 50 times, that someday I would be in the seat that I'm in, actually being able to, you know, mess with this franchise, spend time in this franchise.
You would have looked up from your keg stand and said, "No way, man," and beer would have been spilling out. No.
And if anyone would have told me that the sequel to the films would be a video game, like how cool is that? That's how important our industry has become.
Absolutely. Well, it's a completely different way to tell an extension of the story.
It's
but
interactive.
But there is, of course, you know, Prometheus is in the front of a lot of people's minds as well. Have you worked with that team as well to make sure that there's winks and nods in Prometheus as well as your game?
I'll tell you, the collaboration with 20th Century Fox has been great. Those guys have shown a lot of trust, which is awesome considering I've been stealing from Aliens my entire career.
Everybody has.
Right?
It's okay. It's totally okay.
And they really have given us a lot of support and trust. Long before any business was done, though, long before 20th Century Fox originally let Gearbox and Sega jump into this, there was a meeting between Gearbox director Brian Martell, who's the director of Aliens Colonial Marines, and Ridley Scott, who created the entire universe. They met long before this project project existed long before.
High atop some ivory tower.
Not really. It was a really personal kind of exchange of creatives. Just Brian wanted to learn more about Ridley's vision. What else about this universe hadn't we touched? What's the deal with the space jockeys? And in that moment, Ridley takes out his original storyboards, blows the dust off of them. Probably hadn't looked at them in 20 years. Sure. And he draws his own. He's a very talented guy, and they just dove into it. And I think that moment in 2006 was the genesis of both this project and Prometheus. So it's really exciting to have these things come to an end now.
So obviously, Gearbox should get a percentage of the Prometheus backend.
I
hear what you're saying.
If anything, the other way around.
But how does that moment in 2006 lead to what we're seeing here? Like, what is this? This is multiplayer, right?
Yeah. So what we're seeing right now is the multiplayer game being played, which is awesome because not only can you take the side of a Colonial Marine, in the multiplayer competitive game online, you can also play as a Xenomorph. And you get Xenomorphs versus Colonial Marines. And it's pretty neat to see the world from the perspective of the Xenomorph. Completely different gameplay.
I was going to say, what is that? What is that gameplay?
Well, the Xenomorphs, have you ever wondered how they know where the Marines are? Remember when the Marines were all welded in, hiding out? How did the Xenos know where to get them?
I'm assuming they were looking at their Facebook check-ins.
It's Twitter, right?
Yeah.
So they have they have a sixth sense. They can actually sense where everything is. They know where all of the other Xenomorphs are, and they can sense other things, other living things out there. And they must. They've developed this. They've evolved this because in order to exist, the Xenomorph has to get to a human and implant its own embryo inside a human body. So, our species...
It's such a tender ritual.
Yeah, and of course that thing grows and bursts out of her chest. So, that species and the human species are mutually exclusive. So when we put them together in this asymmetrical, competitive multiplayer environment, a lot of mayhem ensues. It's a lot of fun.
And I'm assuming different agility and movement speed and different characteristics, of course,
Completely
as you're
different.
playing a
The Xenos at a distance aren't very effective. They can be picked apart by the powerful Colonial Marine weaponry. But if they can get a Marine when he's unaware, or when he's separated from the pack, they can dive on him and tear him apart very quickly, or haul him away to become a host for a new embryo.
So the game is, of course, E for everyone.
Yes, right.
Just by that description
Super
alone.
mild. No, of course it's M-rated. It's a very aggressive, very violent game. There's also a lot of suspense and tension in the campaign game. The competitive game, too, on the Xenomorph side, there's a lot of other Xenomorphs besides the classic Hunter. There's one of my favorites is a Crusher, which is a giant, really beefy, bull-headed thing. The carapace is so thick, most of the Colonial Marines bullets will
bounce right off of
reflect right off of it. And if you've ever played Left 4 Dead, the asynchronous gameplay is really fun, where there's completely different capabilities in the skill set for the Xenomorphs than for the Colonial Marines. These badasses have the best weapons in the universe, but if they're...
I was going to say, let's talk about those weapons really quick. I mean, some of them obviously are deflecting off of those giant lumbering dudes, but I mean, what do they have at their disposal?
Well, there's the iconic stuff from the film, of course. Pulse rifles, flamers, these smart guns, even things referenced but never built, like sonic electronic ball busters. You'll actually get this stuff, things Bill Paxton's character talked about,
Amazing.
Hudson talked about. We actually realized these.
I was going to say, did you guys get to create what that would look and feel
Absolutely.
and act like?
We had to invent that because it never existed. Wow. It was just a reference. And we also got to extend the universe a bit. Imagine what the Marines would do with this equipment, how they would bolt onto it or modify it, and what other kinds of equipment would be manufactured by these weapon creators in this science fiction universe. So it's been a lot of fun to expand and build upon the Aliens fiction.
Are those modifications doled out to us, or do we as the gamer, do we get to decide how we want to modify our weapons?
Both. There's some configuration that you can choose as you unlock and earn these capabilities, and there's a metagame where as you play the game over time, you'll actually grow the power of your character and your identity. You'll get more abilities and more unlocks for different weapon types and different configurations. And what's neat about it is whether you're playing the campaign game or the competitive game online, either place will help you grow your character. So it's not like you're only growing if you play online and you're missing things by playing the campaign.
I love that. I always feel like I should be investing my time in the mode that's going to help me in multiplayer, but I want to play the single player.
That's right. Well, all modes will contribute to your progress. And, in the campaign game, too, it's also multiplayer. At any time, a friend can dynamically drop in and drop out. So it's a great online game as well.
Very huge. When do I get to burst out of chests? When do I get to play this thing?
The game launches in February, and it's coming on all the platforms, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Windows PC, and we've also announced, and you saw this morning at the Nintendo press conference, it'll be on the Nintendo Wii U.
If there's a machine that's capable of rendering graphics, you guys are on it, basically.
I'll tell you, the game
You're going to be on a Keurig next month and a Segway. Somehow it's going to be there.
That would be a neat trick, right?
Randy, thank you so much.
A pleasure.
Really
Cheers.
appreciate it.
Right on. Thank you.
Ready pitch for everybody.
In just a few minutes, you will get a taste of the first expansion for the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Bethesda's Todd Howard will walk us through Dawnguard. Plus, we'll go hands-on with a zombie game to end all zombie games. Resident Evil 6. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, the ball just got better thanks to Spiro. I can change colors, sure, but guess what else I can do? I can just put this down on the ground, take out my iPhone or Android device, and I can go to town any which way I want, get it a boost, get it over that. I'm not the best driver at this, but you're probably going to be better than me, like most things. Anyway, so the Spiro, you can get it at Brookstone, you can get it at the Apple Store pretty soon, you can get it at Target, you can get it for Android or iOS. There are 7 different apps available right now. Go out there, get it, have fun, any game you want, just play.
All right, Sleeping Dogs is an open world game that can be described in just one word. Totally messed up. Technically that's 3, but if you get creative with use of hyphens, whatever, it's fine, it's true, it's messed up. We're gonna send it over to Kristen, who's on the floor with the violent undercover cop saga.
It's time to thumb up and be a man because Sleeping Dogs from Square Enix is a combination of gunplay and awesome vehicles, and it's got more violence than a John Woo film. All right, Dan, so tell me about the main character and his mission in the game.
So you're Wei Shen, and you're playing as an undercover police officer who's been tasked to go to Hong Kong and take down the triads.
I'm doing what needs to be done.
The fighting style seems to be a very prominent feature in the game, sort of a signature thing for Sleeping Dogs. Can you tell me a little bit more about some of the specific moves that we'll see or anything that just stands out?
Wei Shen is a martial arts expert and trained in a variety of different styles. So he kind of combines all these different moves to be able to take on 20 enemies at a time. He also, one of the new things we've added in is the ability to use combat or environmental props. Some pretty over-the-top sort of gruesome ones as well, but really it's about, you as a player taking the environment and turning the tables on your enemies.
Yeah, I find that refrigerator doors actually do a job pretty well.
There are many reasons for the success of Skyrim. I think one was the fact that it was X-Play's Game of the Year in 2011, of course. Another maybe was the staggering amount of content that you get in that package for $60. Well, guess what? There is even more Skyrim on the way. Let's take a look at Dawnguard, the game's first expansion. Joining us now is game director and executive producer at Bethesda, Todd Howard. Welcome.
How you doing? Thank you for having me.
I'm guessing we have some Skyrim fans in the house. So what is the storyline of Dawnguard?
So with Dawnguard, we wanted to give the players something new they could do in Skyrim as opposed to just more. So one of those things was paying off on the fantasy of being a vampire lord. So in this, you can join the Dawnguard who hunt vampires, or become a vampire lord and use all of these all-new powers, from turning into bats to vampiric gripping people and throwing them through the air, summoning gargoyles, all a bunch of really, really cool new stuff.
How did you know everybody really just wanted to be a vampire lord?
Well, there's so many things in Skyrim already. It was just one of those things that we didn't have, that we always wanted to do more with. So when we came off of Skyrim, we did this thing called a game jam. We just kind of make up new ideas and see what sticks. And a lot of the team and us, we were all like, vampires would be really, really cool to do.
Okay, so I need to learn a little bit more about these vampiric abilities. What do I get to do as a bat?
So bats is kind of like a dodge move when you turn into them. And what's cool, when you're the vampire lord, you can bite people and suck their health to kill them, and then you open up new perks. So by killing people as a vampire lord, you actually have this all new perk tree. So it almost, even though it fits very smoothly into Skyrim, it feels like you're playing something that is new, that you're playing a different character that you weren't before.
And so of course, if you have vampires, you have to have crossbows, right?
That's what the vampire hunters use, the Dawnguard. So crossbows are really cool. They fit into the archery system really nice. They do a lot of damage, and they take a while to reload, but that's something our fans have wanted as well, crossbows, for a long time.
Are there any other new weapons that we're going to get?
There are Dragonbone weapons, which are even above Daedric now, so you can craft new weapons, you can craft crossbow bolts. So the Dawnguard side of it, and there are 2 sides of the DLC, that gets more into crafting and exploring. You can even have your own armored trolls, so it's cool.
Okay, sorry, that just took me by surprise a little bit. And of course, we're also going to see some mounted abilities as well.
Yep, so we just added mounted combat to Skyrim with the 1.6 update. So one of the things that's been fun for us with Skyrim is it's been so popular that, you know, everyone supported us. We've been doing a lot of free content with the Creation Kit, the Steam Workshop, and mounted combat just came out in the PC and it's coming to Xbox soon. But then in Dawnguard, there's also a mount that you can summon, this kind of magical mount from the Soul Cairn, which is this kind of undead realm of Oblivion.
A magical mount from the Soul Cairn.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in it.
So what does the magical mount look like?
I believe he's in one of the clips you have, so
Okay.
they'll probably be coming up, or it already has.
So what are we looking at right here?
Right here, you're looking at the Vampire Lord in the Soul Cairn fighting one of the dragons. And that dragon can actually teach you a new shout called the Soul Tear that lets you rip the souls out of other people, then you collect their soul, and they become your undead minion. So very high-level shout.
That is fantastic. Okay, sorry, every time I keep getting blown away. So now there's actually something exclusive that we have here, exclusive werewolf perk tree.
So one of the things we're also doing is we added a perk tree to the werewolf because we found something people really like to do in Skyrim, but you know, it didn't quite keep the same power curve as your regular character. So now, same thing as a werewolf. If you maul people, you kind of have this level progress bar for being a werewolf, and then you unlock werewolf perks.
Frost elves?
Frost elves? There's a lot of things in the DLC. Well, we don't want to spoil anything.
Okay, so that is, we neither confirm nor deny. Right.
It's a big DLC. You're looking at 10 to 20 hours of new content. So, you know, we really took our time with it, wanted to put something that felt like a complete package, new experience for everybody who's supported us.
We can't wait. Okay, so this is a timed exclusive release. So when is it going to be available to download on the Xbox 360, and how much is it going to be?
Right now, we're launching the beta next week.
Okay.
So if that goes well, it'll be coming out June 26th for $20 on Xbox.
June 26th for $20, and when is it going to be available on other platforms?
I have no idea right now.
Perfect. I love it. I have no idea. Todd, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
We will be waiting with bated breath for Dawnguard. Take it away, Candace.
Thanks, Morgan. Hey, Twitter wall, talk to me. Okay, we got No Name Snow says, looked up from playing Skyrim to watch when Dawnguard was mentioned, and I got killed by a couple Draugr overlords. Oh, tear. CTRX96, Skyrim Dawnguard is going to be legendary. I cannot wait any longer for it. You only have to wait a few weeks. June 26th, okay? And Boondocks Saint 30, I can't wait for Assassin's Creed 3. I'm for sure getting the Vita bundle when it launches. We're right there with you. We can't wait to kill some redcoats. Now, everybody is excited about Assassin's Creed series, specifically because the story is heading to the New World. Part 3 puts you right in the middle of the Revolutionary War, and here's the game's latest trailer.
On this land, I am torn. Part of me wants to fight and repel all outsiders. The other part of me is the outsider. In the name of liberty, I will fight the enemy, regardless of their allegiance. While men of courage write history of this day, the future of our land depends on those who are truly free.
Okay.
Awesome!
Here's how you know that game's going to be good.
Yeah.
They already have quotes, and it hasn't even come out yet. Epic, groundbreaking, and it hasn't even come out yet. Look, one thing that wasn't featured in that I wanted to focus on, something that we sat with our mouths open yesterday when we finally saw ship combat.
It looks kind of awesome. And you also have to think about it. Like, I never really thought about ship combat before. Like, you don't want to show your side to the other side because then they're going to cannon you. You want to show your thin side. I never thought about that. Assassin's Creed is an education, is it not?
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. We're really trying to strive to bring the entertainment and the educational side together, and they're doing that here on Assassin's 3. But again, it's something that an element of the game that they've already improved so much. People are already very familiar with the series. They took 3 in a different direction, new location, new animations, obviously a new assassin, and then added being an awesome murderous pirate on top of that. And so I say kudos to you for doing what you did.
I was actually originally a little bit worried that there aren't really as many tall buildings in this period. Are we going to be climbing a lot of trees? But, they kind of sold me, like, you can actually jump out of a window, jump into a tree, then jump onto the roof of something else. So it's, like, part of it. And I think we'll get some variety with the trees is, you're going to have changing seasons. And you're actually even going to be able to go back to locations you've been in the game a few months or years later, and they're going to be different situations there. Like, once it was a battlefield, and now maybe it's empty. So I'm a little bit excited for that game.
Needless to say, we're going to demo that probably later on in the show, and Morgan's really looking forward to having that conversation, as you can see right there. But for now, let's talk about Soul Sacrifice. It's a new PlayStation Vita game from the former Capcom developer. I always say his name wrong, Keiji. I just know Inafune.
Yeah.
Is how I say his last name.
That works.
And it's here at E3 on the show floor.
Yes, Inafune's played a big part in developing games like Mega Man, Resident Evil, and Dead Rising, just to name a few.
Yes.
So that means you should pay attention to this floor report.
So what do you get when you cross your inner Picasso with a first-person shooter in a mysteriously colorless world? Well, we're here with Ian, and he's going to shed some light on a game where you're chasing a swan?
Yeah, the game is a first-person painting game, and in it, players are a young boy who's chasing after a swan, and it begins in a totally white space, and then eventually goes off in totally different directions.
So as far as indie games versus AAA games, do you think that this game can really compete with that AAA gamer's experience?
I think they're very different, and this game, we really try to create a lot of experiences people have never had before, and I think with a lot of AAA games, for better or worse, they're often very familiar. And they're things that people come in knowing, like either because they played the first one or because they played games like it, and they're often more about challenging the player, and with our game, we really want to create crazy, new, weird experiences. So our goal is to keep surprising people like every 60 seconds or so, and that ends up being really hard. And so for us, the game is around 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on how quickly you play through it. And so, a downloadable game makes perfect sense for that. So check it out.
I'm gonna do just that.
Yeah, handheld gaming is awesome. All right, now, it exhausts me to say this because we're here at E3, but there's something even bigger on the horizon. I am talking San Diego Comic-Con. Now, this year's event sold out in 90 minutes, so we're your only way inside. You're welcome for that. We're the only network broadcasting live from the show floor. X-Play's gonna do a live show, Attack's gonna do a live show, and then we were like, you know what? Why don't we do 3 more hours of live television on Saturday? So really, what more do you want? 3 days of Comic-Con coverage kicks off live on July 12th at 3 only on G4. Now, something a little different. If you like watching people mutate into horrible monstrosities, then I suggest you stick around for what's next. We're going to have a live hands-on demo of Dead Space 3 in just a minute, and it won't be pretty. Plus, we'll have the latest on the PlayStation Move titles, Sports Champions 2, Sony's answer to Wii Sports, of course. All that and more from E3 right after this.
They swarm like zombies.
Whenever a new Resident Evil game is announced, super fans are always moaning because their favorite character isn't going to be in the game.
Well, guess what, crybabies? Every friggin' character is in Resident Evil 6. So let's go hands-on.
Joining us now is Localization Director at Capcom, Miguel Cordy. Okay, start with the setting. What's the setting for the game?
Okay, the setting takes place a few years after Resident Evil 5. Big zombie outbreak in America.
Wait a minute, zombies?
Yep,
Again?
Zombies are back. The fans demanded it. They're like,
of course.
We want zombies, so we brought them back.
These aren't the crazy, sped-up bath salt trucker meth zombies. These are the traditional...
These are traditional zombies.
Slower, scarier.
Some of them jump out at you every now and then,
good.
but to add a few surprises into the mix. But they're the zombies people have been expecting.
Why the return to that zombie? Was it for pacing?
It's for pacing, and also just because we want a return to horror. People feel Resident Evil lacks horror when you don't have zombies. So the director himself, he feels zombies are the quintessential horror element of a game. So.
I thought they were pretty scary, but all right, that's fine. Okay, so what are we looking at right now?
Okay, we're looking at Leon, one of those characters everyone wants to come back. He's in China right now, and there's a zombie outbreak there. And as you know, China, large population, so large population of zombies as well. You can see he'll show up with his partner as well, Helena Harper. You can play two-player co-op, or you can just play with an AI partner. So just like RE5, we're keeping the co-op aspect for this game.
And how does is it drop-in, drop-out co-op?
It's drop-in, drop-out. With Resident Evil 5, you had to reset to previous save point. This, it just loads you up at the next one, so you don't have to go back and repeat your progress.
So I can pop into a friend's game and just spin in circles while they get mauled by zombies.
Exactly, and then once they're eaten, leave the game.
Exactly. Thanks for the game, guys.
This is why I don't play with you online.
There's a myriad reasons why you don't play. All right, so this is Leon. What other faces are we going to see here?
Okay, we're going to see Chris Redfield
yes.
From Resident Evil 1. He makes a return. We're also going to see Sherry Birkin, who we haven't seen since Resident Evil 2. She was just a little kid in that game, but our characters, they actually age in real time according to when the games come out. So it's been over 10 years, so she's a young adult now, and she's actually an agent just like Leon.
And there's sort of different scenarios in the game, and how do those weave together?
Okay, we wanted to put so much story into this game, we decided it would be too much for just one character to bear the burden, so we made 3 protagonists. So we have Leon, Chris, and Jake, who's a new character, but he's still part of the Resident Evil legacy because he's Albert Wesker's son.
Okay.
And do they actually weave together at all?
They do weave together at different points. So while each character's story is a complete story in and of itself, they will tie together at different points, and you'll get a fuller version of the story as you see it from different characters' points of view.
And as we're playing in these different regions, will we be fighting different enemy types that are region-specific? Like, what are these Juavo Indians or aliens or zombies? Or what are they? It sounds very Native American, the term, but what's a Juavo monster?
Actually, Juavo, they first appear in Eastern Europe. You'll be the BSAA, which Chris is captain of. He's fighting mercenaries who are trying to overthrow a government in Eastern Europe, and the government is using bioorganic weapons. And so it infected all of its mercenaries with this virus that creates the Juavo.
Okay.
And I almost got crushed by an airplane right there.
Yes, there's a lot of things.
So we got to be able to look out for that as well as zombies?
Yeah, things in the background will kill you, not just the enemies themselves.
Have you spoken much about multiplayer features? Like when we, obviously we have co-op, drop in, drop out, and that's through the entire kind of, I would say single player game, but it's really, that's more story driven there.
Yeah, we have 2 things going on with multiplayer. One is, we've announced, is the Mercenaries, is the multiplayer mode that we've had since Resident Evil 4. But unlike Resident Evil 4 and 5, where you had to beat the game before you could unlock it, we're going to have this unlocked from the beginning. So if you just want to go and kill some zombies with your friends, that's the mode for you.
And so right now we just kind of looked at a race sequence to try to get into this helicopter. And it looks like we have some mini games too, quick time events.
Yeah, we decided to put a few of these elements in just to ramp up the dramatic elements. It seemed sometimes games can get too cutscene action. Right. So we didn't want to rob the player of the experience just for some, especially when you're like flying a helicopter or something like that. There's no reason to really take that away from the player completely. So we wanted to keep them in control, make them feel like they're doing something.
Exactly. Let me feel like I'm part of this beautiful cinematic. I mean, is this a completely new engine, or did you guys bolt on?
This is still MT Framework, the proprietary engine we use. This is just the latest version of it. But even though it's not a complete free-to-play sequence, you can still die here with this helicopter. You can crash it.
You can still screw this up, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Now, are we going to have a demo of this game?
Yes, demo is coming out, and it'll be out in July.
Oh, it's coming in July, and is that for which platforms? Are we talking Xbox
and PlayStation 3?
Love it. And do we have a release date for the game?
Yes, we do.
Is it announced?
It is announced.
Yay! Tell us, tell us, tell us.
It's coming out October 2nd of this year, 2012.
Love it. Miguel,
Ooh,
thank you.
it's a wonderful birthday present for me.
Happy birthday,
Zombies
zombies.
for your birthday.
Happy birthday.
I will join your game, and I promise I will help you by spinning in circles and shooting into the sky until you die. I'm sorry.
I don't believe you. Okay. So now you've also got some exclusive DLC as well.
Yes, we're doing some timed exclusives with Xbox. Can't go into details of them specifically yet, but I can say that Xbox fans and Resident Evil fans will be really happy with them.
We'll take it.
All right,
Take your word
sounds
for it,
good.
Miguel.
Looking forward to October 2nd. Thank you very much for coming
Thanks
by.
a lot. Thanks for having me.
After the break, one of the scariest franchises around wants you to fight with your friends. We'll talk Dead Space 3 and co-op with the game's developers. Plus, a hands-on demo of Spec Ops: The Line. This crazy desert-based shooter will make you afraid of the sand. Oh, we'll be right back.
G4's live coverage of E3 2012 is brought to you by the all-new Ford Focus ST.
Hey! It is time to check in with the Twitter wall, and I am feeling generous. Let's see, go to Babas18. Thanks, G4, for making my life so much happier than it already is. My fingers are shaking from waiting. Skyrim, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs. So many games, so little time. Lucky for you, you have us to show you all the games. Eddie Steak, does Resident Evil 6 explain how Leon maintains his lovely hairstyle during a zombie apocalypse? Obviously, it's the hair gel. Michael J. Dalt, I'm glad my job isn't a helicopter pilot in video games. Is there a trailer without crashing helicopters? LOL. What are you complaining about? Explosions look awesome. And now it's time to give away a PlayStation 3, and you don't have to pop up on the Twitter wall to win. You just have to enter our E3 sweepstakes, and this hour's prize is a PlayStation 3, which goes to the City Ghost. Congrats. Yeah! If you're jealous of today's winner, don't worry. You can still win a console of your own by tweeting with the hashtag E3 on G4 from G4TV.com/E3sweeps. That'll enter you for the chance to win a PlayStation Vita within the next hour. Now, if you've got a PlayStation Move controller, then you've probably got Sports Champions, which is Sony's answer to Wii Sports. Now, there's a sequel on the way with new games like bowling, skiing, and golf. Here is everything you need to know.
If you love Sports Champion, then Sports Champion 2 is going to literally move you. Sony really stepped up their game with this family favorite, so don't be surprised if things get a little ugly in the living room. So, tell me, what's the biggest difference between Sports Champion 1 and Sports Champions 2?
So in Sports Champions 2, we got all new events. We got boxing, we've got skiing, we've got tennis, we've got golf, we've got bowling. We're also bringing back archery, but it's got all new levels and all new modes.
These motion control type games, what makes yours different than the other ones that are out there?
Good question. So for Sports Champions 2, we really pride ourselves on being the best motion controlling game experience.
If I want to buy this and play this every day, which I already do, when can I get this game?
It's going to be out this fall.
Well, I think I know how I'm going to get my fitness in for the rest of the year.
After the break, you'll discover that sand should not be messed with. In fact, it should be feared.
Yes.
Yes. Don't let it get anywhere near your cracks or crevices. We'll have a world premiere demo of the desert shooter Spec Ops: The Line.
I will never thank you for that visual, Kevin. Plus, the game where Sly Cooper can take down Kratos, the God of War. We're going to go hands-on with PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. More E3 right after this.
Okay.
Guys, here at E3, it's not always just just about the games, it's also about the accessories, and what girl doesn't like her accessories? I'm here at the CTA booth checking out the first ever U.S. Army licensed peripheral for the PlayStation Move. If you first-person shooter fans want to step up your game, I think you should check this out.
Okay, so there are games that have jump scares, and then there are games that scare you so bad that you cannot sleep for months. You know, the kind of scares that make you pull the couch in front of the door in case some hideous necromorph comes plowing through. So let's go hands-on with Dead Space 3. All right, joining us now, executive producer of Dead Space 3, Steve Papoutsis, everybody, who's joining us. Steve, thank you for being here, sir. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Now, I know that you guys brought in co-op, and I want to focus on that, but to bring people up to speed, where is everyone's favorite, having the worst life of all time engineer, Isaac Clarke, in this game?
All right, so this game takes place roughly about 2 months after Dead Space 2. Isaac's kind of on the lam, he's kind of laying, but some events happen that kind of suck him into another adventure. He finds himself orbiting a planet called Tau Volantis, and through some other random events, he's down on the planet. So what we're looking at here is taking place on Tau Volantis. This big drill cavernous room is part of an archaeological expedition that was happening on this planet.
Answering the phone. Just stay home, man. There's no good stuff out there for you.
Yeah, so it's not as simple as avoiding a phone call the way the game kicks off. So he actually he winds up meeting Carver pretty much right at the beginning, and Carver's our new co-op character.
Okay, and let's talk a little bit about that. Again, you know, the Dead Space series, incredible, really tight single-person experience. There's nothing better than every time a new game comes out, then turning off all the lights, cranking up my surround sound, and scaring the bejesus out of myself. But you are going to experience this with a friend this year. That is the intention. So how did you come about the idea to make the co-op experience, and then how did you make it fit into what, you know, is a very tight single-person experience?
Well, Blair, I couldn't be more excited about what you just said, because Dead Space 3 is going to kind of scratch that itch for both types of gamers.
Okay.
So in single player, it's the same Dead Space people have come to enjoy. There is no AI follower. It's just Isaac. It's his story in single player. Bam, just like that. Right. But if you want to play with a friend, it also offers drop-in, drop-out co-op. So let's say we're playing, I get an invite from you, I hit a button, bam, you're in my game, and now Carver's in the game. Cutscenes will be altered, story details will be enhanced, dialogue will change, and you also get some side missions that only Carver gets. So you kind of are almost getting two different experiences. And so that hardcore Dead Space fan that wants that solitary single-player experience, they're going to get that.
Very interesting, and I'm sure you can experience this in co-op as well. One of the things that we're seeing here on screen, really what stands out to me is the expansiveness of the levels. Dead Space, again, these tight corridors, it's very, you know, it's very controlled, very, you know, very tight. But what we're seeing here are these huge environments. So, number one, how did you kind of decide to expand to this level, and how do you continue to keep that like creeping death experience in this game?
Well, Blair, one of the things that's really important to us at Visceral is to continue to evolve what we do. We want to push the boundaries of game design, and we want to continue to evolve game design. And one of the things that we challenged the team with was, how do we continue to make Dead Space 3 feel fresh? Right. And the idea of including this new location, which is more organic, Tau Volantis, was a big idea we had. But at the same time, we didn't want to alienate those people that enjoyed our previous games. So what we also have, in a variety of locations, is a flotilla up in space above Tau Volantis that is filled with ships. And Isaac is going to be using zero gravity to kind of navigate around that flotilla, or with Carver, and also going to be exploring those ships. So we'll get those tight corridor feeling segments that people enjoyed from the previous game, plus you'll get this expansive planet, Tau Volantis, that has opportunities for more exploration. And there's some other hidden things that we're going to be talking about later that players will find on the planet.
Okay, so basically this is a 300-hour game, is what you're saying. You've got a lot of content jammed into this thing.
There's a lot of stuff going on in Dead Space 3 that we're really excited about, and you know, I'm really looking forward to talking more and more about it as we get closer to shipping it.
All right, we look forward to talking to you about it more and more as it comes out. But for now, let's talk about the things that you know, fans are most familiar with in the series. Again, the weapons are so great. Obviously, the plasma cutter has to make a return, otherwise fans are no, they'll still buy the game. Don't worry, even if you don't have the plasma. But what can you talk about as far as what people can expect from the weapons?
Well, Blair, the first thing I want to say is, yes, the plasma cutter's back.
Good. Confirmation is there, my
and
friends.
you might see it in the gameplay that you saw. But we've got a whole new weapon system that we're going to be rolling out later in a few months that we're going to be talking about, and I can't wait to show people how that works, because I think it's a big game changer.
I've been really looking forward to this interview because I am also a fan of the comic books and the environment and the world that you've created outside of the video game. How much stuff did you draw from what else is going on, Dead Space out there, with all the other media out there at Dead Space, and bring into this game, and how much of this game was influenced by that, and then vice versa? How closely do you work with those guys?
Well, one of the things that's always made this franchise so fun to work on is the fact that we've got all these extension products, right? We've got the comics, the novels, the motion comic that just came out that kind of seeds the idea of John Carver. All of those elements, the team and I work on. We oversee that. So all that stuff is relevant to our universe. We don't just hand it over to people and go, hey, go do something. That's all part of our plan for the big picture of Dead Space. So with Dead Space 3, we're pulling all that stuff together, and we're going to really answer some questions. A lot of people want to know, well, how do the markers really work? What's the connection with the necromorphs? What are these unitologists about? And we're really looking at answering those questions with Dead Space 3.
And I'm looking forward to those answers, my friend. So when can people also learn those answers for themselves?
People will be able to learn those answers for themselves in February 2013.
Very cool, man. Thank you so much for stopping by, Steve.
Thank you.
The game looks amazing and absolutely terrifying.
Now, E3 is a time for big announcements, the promise of a new gaming experience, but this year, we didn't really see many new games. Instead, plenty of sequels and refined iterations of popular franchises. Now, is this a bad thing or is this an amazing thing? We're going to find out right now in a Kit Kat news break. All right, joining me now, Robotoki President Robert Bowling is back for more, and Eric Eckstein, Director of Gaming Editorial for G4. Welcome back, gentlemen. How are you?
Thank you.
Great.
Great.
So listen, I can count the number of original IPs this year
on a pinky?
one. Yeah, pretty much. If you use a knuckle, you can do it on your pinky. Lots of sequels. Who's doing it right? Who isn't? Who needs to completely refresh and throw their games out, essentially?
Right.
I mean, I would say Assassin's Creed 3 is clearly owning the show. They took the game that we've seen before, but just made new improvements to it and then put it in a completely different setting. Whole game's changed and everyone's buzzing about it. So that's one that's pretty hot on my list.
So you think they're doing it right?
Oh, absolutely.
What about you, Robert?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Assassin's Creed 3, that's what you need to do with a franchise that has so many iterations, is you really have to bring it into a setting that people weren't expecting that refreshes everything. It allows you to do new mechanics, new style, that always moving forward motion, like gameplay that they're introducing is, I think, fantastic.
And now we have cannons and pirate ships.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's kind of cool. I'll take that.
Kimbo crossbows.
But on the flip side, there's something like Tomb Raider, where Tomb Raider is kind of similar to the same game that we've known and loved, but it's, again, they're doing different things with the way that you play the game. You explore, you hunt deer, you do all sorts of crazy things now that you didn't do in those previous games, and that's still very much an interesting franchise for people.
I think Tomb Raider is one of those franchises where every time you hear it's coming back, you go like, oh, maybe this is the one, and then, well, maybe it's not once it arrives. Are you getting your hopes up for a new Tomb Raider?
I am, because they've rebooted it. You know, this is not just a sequel. This is a reimagining of what Lara Croft is, of what this universe is. It's taking a realistic, darker tone, and I think that's going to be so refreshing for it, because they've nailed the gameplay. They've polished that. We know that we love Tomb Raider gameplay. Now they're putting it on another layer that we can fall in love with in a different way.
Well, that's great. We can all gather around and celebrate those, but now let's kick some games while they might be down. Who's doing it wrong? Who is making huge errors by just iterating?
Those are strong words.
Yeah, exactly.
Wrong.
No, let's hear it.
I mean, I don't want to say they're doing it wrong, but
I'll say it.
God of War Ascension, I think, looks really good. Looks like God of War. The multiplayer is a new angle, and I'm really excited for that, but it still looks like the same game. I don't see it being a materially different game that I've been playing for the last X amount of years.
So I think, you know, I had said earlier that I was excited for it because I'm excited to play the multiplayer, but
I'm still excited for it. I love God
certainly,
of War.
Oh, certainly, and it looks. I mean, it's going to be a AAA polished game. We know that experience is going to be there, but maybe multiplayer. Yeah, maybe it's not enough though to make people think that is a fundamentally different game.
Right, yeah.
Could be true, yeah.
I mean, for me, what I'm surprised to see again this year was the Gears of War Judgment. They left on such a high note with Gears of War 3 that I really expected them to wait till next gen to really just bring it with another big iteration. But with it being a prequel or Judgment or whatever it is, I'm interested to see what they're doing with it in such short, from Gears 3.
Do you think this was like somebody looked at an Excel spreadsheet and said, well, last year we had this money coming in from this thing. Can we do that again this year while you guys work on the next gen thing?
I hope not. I hope not. If the answer to that is yes, then I will be disappointed. If they
feels like it, that's the only thing.
But if they came back, and they came back and they're like, there's something compelling in the Gears of War franchise that we didn't get to do with 3 for whatever reason. There's a story or there's something they didn't get to tell, and that's the reason they're doing it. Then I'm all for it. Like, knock it out of the park. But if the answer is not that, then I don't know.
But that's what we need. People who fly, like people can fly, that they're developing it and they're going to bring something really big to the table. We're just not seeing that yet when the demos that they've kind of put out there.
Well, we're focusing obviously on these titans of the industry, these mega franchises, but I find that when I fire up my console and even my PC, it's half the time it's to play some indie games. It's to play a small developer's unique take on a tried and true formula, or completely unique take that doesn't borrow from any genre. Are there any indie games that are on your radars?
Yeah, I would say there's a Sony game, The Unfinished Swan, but then they also have that game that's just got funded through Kickstarter, which is Republic.
Yeah, Republic. Yeah.
Which looks amazing. I mean, you've seen it, right? It looks really.
Yeah, I've seen it. I was a big contributor on helping that get done and pushing that because I really wanted to see that game come to creation. Because,
well, for those who don't know about it, can you tell them a little bit about what the game is and how it works?
I'll try to do it justice. It's not my game.
No, but you funded it, so it is kind of your game. You helped fund it.
It's all of our games.
Certainly.
No, Ryan Payton's team. Ryan Payton left and started this new camouflage studio. And like, what I love about it is it seems like they're really taking that indie iOS, PC sort of game to a whole new area by adding context to the reason that you're using the device. So when they sold it originally, it was about to be an iOS tablet game that was having you follow this character named Hope, trying to get her out of this wherever she's at, the prison or this dystopia future, whatever it is. But definitely look it up because it looks so exciting, because I feel like they're taking the next step in like indie iOS games. They're adding a lot of depth and character, and to a level that I haven't seen it yet. And I think that's the future. Because this year we've seen so many big names leave established brands, leave established studios, and really start something fresh. And that's what I'm so excited about. That's why I think E3 next year, where this was a year of sequels, E3 next year, we're going to start seeing all the new games that were announced, all the indie games that didn't get the press here, that are in development now.
Right.
They're really going to own the show.
All right, I'm already in line then for 2013. Thank you, gentlemen, both for joining us. Once again, we appreciate it. But now, we're going to send it over to Morgan Webb.
All right, in just a few minutes, we have got a world premiere demo of the game full of tough decisions and death by sand. It is Spec Ops: The Line. Plus, an age-old battle will finally be settled. Who would win in a fight, Parappa the Rapper or Twisted Metal's Sweet Tooth? It's PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. We will be right back.
G4's live coverage of E3 2012 is brought to you by Kit Kat Bars. Break time, anytime.
Did I think of my teeth?
3.
You look gorgeous. Doesn't she? Check it. Welcome back to E312 Live. Coming up in the next hour, we're going to go hands-on with the game starring the robots in disguise. It's Transformers: Fall of Cybertron.
Plus, learn what it's like to pull covert ops around the globe in Medal of Honor Warfighter. And later, you don't want to miss our hands-on look at Halo 4 multiplayer. This is a whole new online experience.
I want you to try to wrap your head around this.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to take Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness.
Right.
Dubai.
Got it.
And an apocalyptic sandstorm.
Perfect.
Then you're going to mix it all together.
Got it.
And then you get the upcoming third-person shooter Spec Ops: The Line.
It is, I got it.
All right.
Yeah, grim. It's unpredictable and full of dicey moral decisions. We've got a world premiere hands-on demo.
Spec Ops: The Line.
That's okay.
Lead designer Corey Davis. Corey, thank you for being here, my friend. Last time we saw Corey, his beard was much longer.
It was much longer.
I appreciate you cleaning up for us. All right, as we said when we were introducing the game, this is a squad-based shooter that takes its inspiration from Heart of Darkness. What? Yeah. What does that mean exactly?
Well, it means first and foremost we're focusing on a dark and mature narrative.
So we're following a squad of Delta Force operators into a very surreal environment in Dubai that's been cut off from the world by cataclysmic sandstorms and filled with millions of tons of sand. So we sort of go down the rabbit hole with these characters and experience a lot of really morally gray scenarios with them, as they're not able to rely on sort of the command that helps out most of these military operations.
Right.
We really focus in on the emotions and the interactions that happen between these three characters.
I want to talk a little bit about the sand, because this is something that really got me excited about the game. The sand dynamics and the sand mechanics, and the fact that sometimes you're walking on top of what you think is a hill, but it's actually a building. How much time did you spend trying to make sand?
So that was, the sand to us, it started as a character. It's sort of, if you compare it to Heart of Darkness, it's our river. We have a river of sand running down the center of Dubai. We really wanted it to come alive for the player, not just be a backdrop or a visual thing. And so we really focused on adding a lot of gameplay opportunities to be able to experience that. First and foremost, like you said, you never know what you're walking on. You may be walking on the top of a glass roof on a skyscraper that you could fall through at any moment. But at the same time, you can use that sand to your advantage. Kick it up into the eyes of enemies by throwing frag grenades into the sand. Also, these sandstorms continue to rage within Dubai. They're destroying the landscape, causing a very interesting situation with the civilians that have survived there, and really changes the way the combat plays out in Spec Ops: The Line as well.
I hope we get to bury some people in sand.
I think you're going to get the chance to do that, definitely.
Is Tom Cruise going to sprint like a graceful gazelle through the city at any point in this game?
There are gazelles in the game. I'm not sure if we named them Tom Cruise or not.
No confirmation of contracts here. But something we can confirm, and we're really excited that you're bringing it here today, we actually have an exclusive look at the co-op gameplay that you guys brought in, which we really appreciate. So what are people at home looking at when we talk about this co-op gameplay that we're going to show right here?
So basically we've decided to release some free bonus content with the game, and we're really excited about it. We wanted you to experience the single-player game as a single-player campaign where you really evolve with these characters, but at the same time, in co-op, we get to see some different perspectives on the action that's happened in Dubai before Captain Martin Walker and his squad arrive in Dubai. And so, really, you get to play characters and see the reasons why they're doing the things that they're doing in the single-player campaign, and you get to enjoy that with a friend. And so that's a lot of fun. And also, really, all those different elements that are in single-player, as far as the beautiful environment of Dubai, the sand, the way that interacts with gameplay, all of those things are also in the co-op.
Let's talk about some of these moral decisions that you're going to have to make.
Sure. So in the single-player game, like I mentioned, we really see an evolution take place with our main characters. And we wanted to use this interactive element, the fact that you're the one, as a gamer, holding the controller in your hands to allow you to experience some of the emotions that we've been told about by our military advisors and by stories that we read about from soldiers on the battlefield. Typically, these scenarios are not between good and bad. They're between this gray area that's been presented in front of you and your own survival. And so a lot of times soldiers have to make decisions that they have to live with for the rest of their lives, and those decisions' outcomes are not immediately clear when they make those decisions. And so we wanted the player to be able to experience that along with our squad and to sort of take some ownership of that evolution that takes place with these characters.
That's very awesome. So switching gears from single player to the multiplayer,
sure.
Because emotion is such a big part of the core mechanic of your game, it seems, are we going to see that same type of emotional decision making in the multiplayer, or am I just killing dudes to level up as much as possible?
Which is also awesome.
Which is also awesome.
Well, it's a little bit different type of experience. We didn't want to treat these moral decisions lightly. So we really wanted you to have a personal experience with those rather than, teabagging your buddy while he's trying to make a decision between something that's actually very horrifying. So we wanted you to be able to focus on the emotional aspects of that. So in multiplayer, you are seeing characters that are involved with these decisions, different perspectives on that. You're actually playing characters that were involved in a civil war with John Conrad's men, the Damn 33rd, before Walker arrived. You'll see those men actually strung up on lampposts in Dubai once you arrive, and Walker's sort of unraveling the mystery of what happened there. So if you dive into multiplayer, you'll see some more aspects of that and be able to enjoy that with your friends.
Now, is this kind of a present-day situation where we're going to kind of see modern weapons and present-day weapons that we recognize?
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of modern-day weapons, but at the same time, we try to take everything to sort of a hyper-realistic perspective. And so, basically, the squad arrives with their Delta Force weaponry that they've prepared and customized, but at the same time, they're cut off once they land there. They have to find a way to evolve with the situation that's there. They end up meeting survivors and refugees that have armed themselves with very sort of rugged and makeshift weaponry. And then once they sort of encounter new characters that gives them new opportunities, they have to move along and evolve with that as well. So you're going to see a lot of the weapons you'd expect to see in a military shooter, but also some really cool stuff like the usage of white phosphorus in the game. You'd be able to use a AA-12, which is a machine shotgun that allows you to really destroy cover and feel the brutality of this weaponry. So we wanted to give you perspective of what it would be like to have modern weaponry in the scenario of Dubai after it's been cut off from civilization.
That sounds awesome. And of course, the coolest weapon of all, killing dudes with sand.
I know.
You cannot forget about that.
Yeah, it's actually, really the sandstorms to me are a very interesting sort of character in the game as well, because a lot of times they give you an opportunity to play differently, tactically, but enemies also start to really behave differently as well. They're looking for the muzzles of your weaponry when you fire, and they're sort of pinpointing your location based on that. So they're searching behavior, they're really trying to outflank you and surround you. So in those moments it becomes a lot different type of experience. You really got to rely on close combat tactics and weaponry in those situations.
All right, when can we get our hands on the game?
So Spec Ops: The Line comes out June 26th for the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, and the PC, but our demo's out now on the Xbox 360 and PSN.
All right, guys, so as soon as you're finished watching our coverage
of course,
today,
after this.
you can go right now and download the demo. Thank you so much for coming by. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Corey.
Thanks a lot.
Fable the Journey is all about wielding magic with Kinect motion control while maintaining a relationship with your horse, which could make it my game of the year. Let's send it over to Sarah, who has got the latest on the Xbox 360 exclusive.
Of an undertaking was this?
So this is the fourth in the Fable series, and uniquely it's now on Kinect on this time around. And yeah, it makes it a different game. We're allowing the players to sit down for the first time using Kinect, which is exciting, which means we can do a full long play experience.
Okay, well, how Kinect based is it?
It's totally ground up Kinect. We built this game with Kinect in mind. We do everything that Kinect does really well. So we've got this fantastic magic system, which allows you to read spells with your hands. You can use your voice to change the spell types, and it just feels really awesome.
Okay, speaking of this magic system and casting spells, how much of it is for effect and how much of it is to just kind of move the story along?
No, I mean, it's not for it looks great, so for effect it works, but it just feels natural. It's really important that you feel good with Kinect and that you don't feel like you want your controller back. So the magic system really drives what you do in the game, and it really feels awesome.
All right, so when can everybody at home start flailing their hands and waving around at the Kinect?
You guys can start waving your arms around and having great fun on the 9th of October 2012.
Get out of my way, I'm dropping some bombs, some magic bombs.
All right, coming up, a game that can simply be described in 3 words: Sony Smash Brothers. It's PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
Plus, we go hands-on with a game that is nothing like Michael Bay's movies. It's Transformers Fall of Cybertron. All that and more coming up right after this.
I bet there'll be explosions.
Hey, we're at stickgaming.com. This is my friend Jorge here. Check it out. We are playing Forza Racing right now. Stick Gaming does a great thing. They're working with the charity Red, which hopefully by the year 2015, with enough money, could eliminate babies being born with AIDS in Africa. But you can win cool prizes and get a chance to play against this guy. All right, Myra, enough chit-chat, more crash. Why don't we just crash each other, because neither of us are particularly good at this game. Can I run you out the road? Wait, where are you? Where are you? That's me right there.
I did not approve of that shirtless clown image before me. I think we can all agree that Michael Bay's Transformers movies are the most fun when human drama is absolutely nowhere to be found, because robots are awesome and he is not good with humans. We just want to see the robots kicking ass, Michael. Transformers Fall of Cybertron, it's all about bots, it's not about people, and that's what we like about it. So let's go hands-on. All right, joining us today, Matt Tiger.
Teager.
That's what I thought. I was like, that sounds like Tiger. Game director at High Moon Studios. Matt, we had you on X-Play a couple weeks ago. We were talking about the game. We're very excited about it. However, today, we're more excited about this. We cannot thank you enough. We're getting an exclusive look for the first time ever of this right here. What are the robot fans at home seeing right now on their television screen?
What we brought for you today is something really special. It is, when you're playing as Optimus Prime, you know, Cybertron's a big place, it's a big world. It's also got big, giant characters. Metroplex is a city-sized transformer.
Okay.
When you're playing as Optimus Prime, you get to control him on the battlefield. So the stuff that we have for you today is you're going to get to see him for the first time ever. We've never shown it anywhere else. I'm super thrilled to have it for you. So what happens in the story is the Autobots are really losing their war, and Optimus kind of draws on some power. He doesn't quite know what's going to happen. Well, what happens is Metroplex, and you're going to see it right here.
All right, and I know for you as a fan of the series, this must have been incredible for you to participate in. Like, let's make a Transformer that's actually a gigantic city.
I have like one of the best jobs in the world, right? I mean, it really is awesome to take, you know, childhood nostalgia and turn that into either dredging that up for people who are fans like me from the old days, or just brand new fans. I love it.
And so we're seeing here this creation, this child born of that love, and also of you making a kick-ass video game.
That's right.
Here.
I mean, look at it. It's a city, right? And when he finishes up, what he's going to say is, you know, I heed the call of the last Prime, really making you feel like you're in control of this Colossus.
And talk a little bit about the scope of the game. Again, this is something that we spoke about in the past. There's a level of expectation on this game because the last one was so good. People want a good game because the last one was good. So you have to provide them with the experience they already had, but then as we're seeing here, you're also taking it in a much larger direction than you would in the past.
I would definitely say it's kind of daunting, right? You know, we at the studio are incredibly hard on ourselves with how hard we're pushing on the game and how much we want to perfect our craft. So we think the game was a good one. What this is a great game.
Right. And then the canon involved. I mean, you're creating something that's going to fit into a lot of people's childhood memories at this point. That's got to be incredibly terrifying as well.
Yes, very terrifying. I have little kids. I always use them as a benchmark. But yes, this is the official canon for Transformers, you know, on their home planet of Cybertron, and that's just a fantastic to be a part of.
And how have the fans embraced this? I mean, guys, obviously our fans are here for the first time seeing this. You guys think this is great? Absolutely. You know, the show started a couple hours ago. People have seen this stuff. How are they reacting to what you've got here at E3?
It's fantastic. You know, E3 is this crazy, busy, you know, you almost don't get a chance to breathe, but every chance I get, I go out to the kiosk and see people with their thumbs on it. Because really what matters is what the game feels like, and the response has been phenomenal.
All right, let's talk about the weapons in the game, because those people have their hands on the controllers because they're blowing things up with weapons. And again, we spoke a little bit about them in the past, but what are you guys showing off new here? And then maybe refresh people as to what they can expect if they've heard it already.
So, you know, their whole entire arm transforms into the weapon. And so we really wanted to, what that allows us to do is get a little crazy, do some crazy stuff. So we've got lightning guns and Tron kind of disc guns and all sorts of cool things in addition to sniper rifles and the shotguns. But how about a shotgun that when you kill an enemy, you actually leech some life back from them? Like things that we could do very different. All this is built around what's called the Teletrans store, these places where you can go, buy and upgrade all of your weapons, not just your weapons, but also the store, so it gives you bonuses to your ammo, all sorts of cool stuff. And you certainly couldn't buy everything on your first playthrough. So it really is going to encourage you to kind of keep playing and have a great time with it.
And then one of the things we spoke about as well, your favorite part of your childhood is building that robot, even breaking certain limbs to make it fit the way that you think it should fit when it transforms. And you guys are actually allowing people to create their own experience as well here, which is a very exciting thing.
You know, single player has a lot that's going for it that we're thrilled for. It's a great big story. But in MP, create your own Transformer is, if you are a big Transformers fan, frankly, even if you're not, you just like multiplayer customization, tens of hours just in the menus. Not even playing the game, just in the menus, making your perfect looking Transformer.
And what is your perfect looking Transformer?
Pink, probably, right? It's for whatever reason, every time we give people the options, I always either see Christmas tree colors or pink, every time.
That's an odd, you might want to talk about a different focus group. I think you're maybe focusing on a very specific group of people. And this is the one thing that I always love asking, especially when we talk to people about their games before they actually bring them to E3. What do you think people so far here have been really attracted to, and was that surprising when you got here at E3?
You know, I think, as you mentioned, there's quite a bit more expectation, which frankly for us is not something we're entirely used to, so it's kind of fresh for us. And really it is, and I kind of mentioned already, it's watching people play and see how they play and what they're doing. And when they start to realize that you can transform whenever you want to, it's innately part of your tactics and your thinking. It's different than getting into a Jeep or hopping into a tank. It's you. When you see people click that kind of strategy when they're playing, that's the big reward for me.
And what Matt forgot to clarify there, it's absolutely seamless when you do that transformation. Yeah. That is one of the coolest parts of the game, I think.
Super fast. It's the game. Yeah. It's Transformer game about transforming. See that?
That makes a lot of sense, actually. It's going to be easy to market that, I think.
Yeah.
Very specific message. So when can people expect to get their hands on this game?
We are coming out on the 28th of August. I can't wait for people to get their hands on it.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you so much for your time, Matt. Round of applause for this gentleman right here. The game looks absolutely incredible.
Hey, since you don't have a TV show, we don't know what you're thinking about E3. That's why we have the Twitter wall. Scarlet Red's Transformers Fall of Cybertron looks sick. We 100% agree with you. Yo-Yo Man 2K1, I want PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Now that I can play as Big Daddy. Hell yeah, I want to play as Big Daddy. He has a drill on his arm. Think of all the cool shit. And now it's time to give away a PlayStation Vita, and even though Crash 1869 didn't get on the Twitter wall, they did just win a Vita from our E3 console giveaway. Congrats! Plus, we're giving away consoles all week long, so keep using the hashtag E3 on G4 and tweet from g4tv.com/E3sweeps. That'll enter you for a chance to win an Xbox 360 in the next hour.
When E3 ends, that doesn't mean we're done covering games. X-Play is back and better than ever June 18th with an all-new look. TV's #1 gaming source returns with a look at Call of Duty Black Ops 2, reviews of all the latest games, and much more. So tune in weeknights at 6:30 and head to g4tv.com/xplay for more. All right, guys, coming up, Nathan Drake versus Sweet Tooth, Sly Cooper versus Parappa the Rapper. It's PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Plus, we'll talk with Snoop Dogg, who is now a part of Tekken Tag Tournament 2. And later, learn everything you need to learn about Xbox Smart Glass, like how you'll be able to control your Xbox with your phone.
I'm here at the NX booth at E3 where all my childhood dreams are coming true. I have a plushie Sackboy, Wolverine, Spider-Man. I need one of these. I need one of these. I need one of these. I need everything. I never want to leave E3, never. I never want to leave. I'm so happy here.
That was some E3 love right there. All right, it is time for a news break. Something a little happened this morning called the Nintendo press conference, and here to talk about it, of course, is our own news director, Eric Eckstein, and Wired editor-in-chief, Chris Kohler. Welcome. Okay, so Nintendo press conference this morning. They finished the press conference. What was your first thought after they finished?
I felt like they did it backwards. Like, shouldn't you build up to the best game in your press conference? Like, start with the things no one cares about and move up to, like, and now here's Pikmin 3. Instead, it was like going on a roller coaster that went really slowly. It was like, this is great, and this stuff is not so good.
Yeah, I mean, Pikmin 3 was really strong.
Yeah.
And then later we saw more of their social network and more of what they're doing online, which I think is a very important thing for a next generation or a current generation console. I don't know which this is.
I think it's current generation, let's be honest.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, well, it depends on how you define current generation, right? I mean, nothing, no other console is doing what they're doing with Miiverse. Like, the integration into games like New Super Mario Bros. U, where people are going to post messages and they're going to appear in your game, like, integrated into the game. You beat a level and you see messages from your friends like, oh, I beat this level in X seconds. Like, that's some pretty cool stuff. That's next generation if you look at it that way.
I think it's cool. I do worry, however, if you can have the coolest social integration in the world, but if nobody's actually there, it doesn't matter. So do you think people are going to show up for this?
Well, they'll be there for New Super Mario U. We don't know what other games they really have to kind of draw people because they just showed a lot of old games. They showed Batman Arkham City, which is a great game and will probably be great on Wii U, but we kind of have been there, done that a little bit.
I know, they're saying, oh, Batman, this is going to change the way you play Batman Arkham City. It's like, I don't play present tense Batman Arkham City. I played it and I'm done. So, I mean, give me the new games. Now Assassin's Creed 3 is going to come to Wii U, but they're not really talking about, like, oh, when it's going to come to Wii U.
Yeah.
So who really knows if it's launch day or what. But again, it's like Mass Effect 3. We're done with Mass Effect. We don't need, Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U. I want to see things like, where was Skyrim for the Wii U, for goodness sake? Like, do that.
What do you think they could have done to kind of had a more impressive press conference?
I mean, they got to bring out more of their bigger franchises. We needed a Zelda, we needed a Star Fox, we needed those guys to kind of make an appearance, and they didn't. Donkey Kong in a really weak way in that Nintendo Land. And I think just getting other publishers on board, bringing more of the Madden they showed in the press conference, but like
let's have that, but let's see more EA games. You know?
I agree. I mean, where was all that stuff? You know, Nintendo has this huge stable of franchises, and we literally saw Pikmin and New Super Mario Brothers, and that was it. You know, really give us something. Show that you're coming out really strong with the Wii U, whereas it seems like Nintendo is just sort of limping to the party again, unfortunately. I hate to say it.
It is worrying. I mean, do you think that they just don't really have any games or any third-party developers signed up for games?
It makes you wonder if publishers are kind of hedging their bets a little bit. They're playing ball because it's clearly something they need to be part of, but we're about to hit another generation, and where are you going to put all your eggs? You're going to put them all in the Wii U basket? I don't know.
Fundamentally, what we're hearing about is, you know, the same third-party publishers that were already kind of present on Wii. It doesn't seem like Nintendo is making any announcements to show that new third-party publishers are entering the fray. Warner Brothers has been there with Scribblenauts. Ubisoft was all over the Wii. I wish they had made fewer games for the Wii. Now they're making 8 for like day one of the Wii U, for goodness sakes. I mean, show me some things that you haven't already kind of nailed down to show me that you're evolving the platform.
It would have also been nice to see a price and a release date, but perhaps for another day. All right, thanks guys. Let's send it over to Candace.
Thanks, Morgan. If you happen to walk by the Namco Bandai booth this afternoon, you might have gotten a contact high. The company held a press event there just a few hours ago and announced a collaboration with Snoop Dogg. Here's what went down. Hi.
The D-O-double-G, Snoop Dogg, who's with me here. You are not a hologram, sir.
Oh, no, I am in the flesh, live and direct. See, look.
Now that's technology right there. Reaching out. So you're here with Tekken Tag Tournament 2. How'd you get involved?
Well, I've always been a fan of Tekken from day one when it first came out in the 80s. And they reached out to my people and told me they had a new creation where they were going to bring a tournament element to it. They wanted some of my music to be a part of it.
We saw footage with you in the game. Is it a whole area that you're kind of overseeing in the game?
Well, basically what it is, it's a Snoop Dogg, you know, setting where the fight takes place, where if you get it to this certain level, you can fight in front of the king, Snoop D-O-double-G. I got lowriders bouncing in the background, a lot of my sands on the floor and in the air and on the ground. It's just like a party, but you know, somebody getting their ass beat while we party. This is one of the livest games ever created as far as fighting. It's always been real, it's always been effective and efficient, and you always wanted to see what the new characters was. Now you can go 2-on-2 or 2-on-1. You know what I'm saying? This is a beautiful thing.
I saw little dogs dancing as well. Those guys were getting...
Yeah, the little dog was grooving on the... I seen that too, I like that. The way he spent around on the side of the throne.
Well, thank you so much, Snoop Dogg. We got more coming from E3. We'll see you later.
Genetics. Hey, if you're a fan of America's policies about murdering terrorists around the world, then I think you're really going to like our next hands-on demo. It's Medal of Honor Warfighter.
When fighting isn't enough, fight the war. Plus, a look at the fantasy RPGs Divinity Original Sin and Divinity Dragon Commander. One is a strategy throwback, one's all about dragons blowing everything up, which is awesome.
I wonder which is which. And later, a look at the Xbox Smart Glass. It's a new app that lets you control your Xbox with your phone or your tablet. And it's the future. We'll be right back, everybody. E312 on G4. Hi. Woo. Yeah. Yeah.
G4's live coverage of E3 2012 is brought to you by the all-new Ford Focus ST.
Hey, if you've ever wanted to see Parappa the Rapper kick the ever-loving crap out of Kratos, the god of war, that'd be a block, kick, punch. Then our next demo is for you. It's PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, and it pits iconic characters from Sony's biggest franchises against each other, and you're gonna get a taste of it right meow. Joining me now, Omar Kendall, Games Director at Superbot. Omar, how are you, sir? So if I were to say, like, Sony Smash Brothers, which is something that I've seen on a lot of forums, do you want to stab me in the throat for saying that, or do you go, of course, and why not?
Not at all. I mean, we're not shy about being influenced and inspired by, all the great brawlers and all the great fighting games. We're fighting game fans, and we're going to do what works and what makes sense for PlayStation All-Stars. We're trying to make a fun game first. And so, in that regard, we understand the comparisons and we embrace it. We love all fighting games.
Well, let's talk about the differences, though. What is fundamentally different about the core gameplay here? And I mean, obviously, we'll get to the roster and the levels. That is so unique to Sony.
Sure.
But the gameplay itself, what makes this game unique?
Well, just I think fundamentally the core gameplay and the objectives. It is not about knocking dudes off of a level. This is about our super system and scoring the points by taking it directly to the different characters and performing these various super attacks and really seeing the cool spectacle that those supers bring.
You sort of have this meter at the bottom of the screen, and we're seeing it now. You build it up by doing regular and/or special attacks. You build up these supers, and then you can choose to unleash a level 1, 2, 3, so on super,
yeah,
right?
That's exactly right. So as you fight, you build that meter, and you have 3 levels of super, and each one is progressively more expensive, but they're also progressively better at killing people. So you can go for the level 1 supers that are a little riskier, but if you have some skill, you can use those, and those are very cost effective.
Quick kills right away.
Exactly, and then you've got the level 3s, which are a little more expensive, but they're much better at killing, and of course they look really cool.
And strategically, that's quite a choice to have in the mix because you could die and lose the super you build up, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're sort of in the middle of getting ready to set a super up and someone just comes in and knocks you out of it, that's it. Your meter's gone, and you got to start all over again.
Well, we had some gameplay up there. You guys announced 2 new characters at the press conference, and we're seeing them in action. We've got Big Daddy.
That's right.
Drake's in there as well, right?
Yep. Yeah, so we're really excited to have those 2 guys. Of course, Nathan Drake, from Uncharted. Really interesting character, has a great sort of set of tools that he has access to, great guns, but he also gets in there with the punching and the kicking, and so we show that off as well. Then, of course, Big Daddy from BioShock offers a really unique play style to the game. This sort of once he gets going.
Berserker drill right to the face, pretty much.
Exactly. It's really hard to stop him once he gets going, and he presents a really unique play style, and we're really happy to have him.
And, unique characters are one thing, but the worlds that we're playing in look so vibrant, and it looks like you have to watch out for environmental hazards just as much as you do for other characters.
Yeah, definitely. The levels play a super important part in the outcome of the game. Guys were just playing on Hades, which is a mashup of the God of War world, but also the Patapon. And periodically during the fight, the Patapon will sort of interact with the players. They interact with Hades. And it's another thing for players to manage and pay attention to.
I know you're keeping the entire roster sort of close to the chest, but is there an estimated number of characters and/or worlds that we'll be able to play in?
As many as we can. We're just talking about the 8 characters and 4 levels that we have, but we're going to be talking about characters from now all until release, so just pay attention, stay tuned.
I certainly will. I got my Google Alert set up, I'm
Fantastic.
on board. But now what about the multiplayer side of things, especially using, let's talk PS Vita.
Yeah.
Because that's an interesting, not only can you use it to control the game, but you can play the game on your Vita, and it's the same experience you'd have on the PS3.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, we, up until this point, had only been talking about the PlayStation 3 version of the game, but we're really happy to be talking about PS Vita, full crossplay. You can play, on the couch together. One guy's on PS3, the rest of the guys are on their Vita. Of course, you can play over PSN. It's essentially platform agnostic, so whatever system you have, the game is perfectly identical, and it's fantastic.
And for multiplayer functionality, does that mean that I can be on my Vita as long as I'm connected to the internet? Maybe I can play with somebody who's on their PlayStation 3 at home?
Yeah, absolutely. Any configuration, yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, we love it.
So you mentioned that you've talked about 8 different levels. There are 8 different characters now, 4 different worlds.
Yes.
We're seeing another world here. What is this place?
Right, so this is the Dreamscape. This is actually a level inspired by Little Big Planet.
Yeah, I see the little pop-in coming out in the background there.
Exactly, and true to form, the level actually is being built as the guys are playing it, so, and it's also different every single time, so it's not the same configuration every time. You'll go in there many times and you'll see different configurations based on what the game decides to throw at you. And then, of course, we have the Buzz mashup in this level. So through the middle of the fight, the quiz show, Buzz starts, and he'll actually ask a question, and there's a benefit to answering that question right. You'll be safe. If you answer it wrong, you'll get punished and lose some of that meter.
So does the gameplay sort of pause for a second while you have to deal with
pause
this
at all.
Oh, no, you're killing each other while you're answering questions?
Yeah, the question gets thrown up, and you sort of have to fight the other guys off the right answer. First, you have to know what the right answer is, and then you have to protect your spot and make sure no one else gets the question right.
That is how Jeopardy needs to be played from here on out. Like question, battle, and then someone wins and survives. Is there a release date set, Omar?
Yeah, we're looking at holiday 2012. So stay tuned. We'll get the official specific date out there, but this year.
I love it. It looks like a lot of fun. Familiar faces, really unique level design. Thank you so much for showing it off.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, Omar.
Yep.
Time to check in with our Twitter wall. It's like Johnny 5, except
Thank you so much.
It can't talk or move, and it has no soul. Rob hates zombies. Too many great games equals my wallet screaming out in agony soon. I guess it's time to get a second job to feed your gaming addiction. Bear Gamer 92. Just about every game I've seen looks like a win. Thanks for the amazing coverage, AOTS. Love you guys. Keep up the amazing work. Aw, thanks. We love you too. And we'll be here all week, so you can keep on tuning in. Now, if you tweet something from G4TV.com/E3sweeps using the hashtag E3 on G4, that'll enter you for a chance to win a game console each hour. Because free stuff is the greatest gift of all, right?
So one of my favorite things about the show today was the fact that we have the greatest show background creeper in the history of E3. Exhibit's just hanging out watching our show. How you doing, man?
How you doing, man?
Good to
Thanks
see you.
for
Good to
having
see
me.
you.
Very nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too. Now, what have you seen today that you've liked?
Well, you know, I've been here. You know, this is my this is my home. This is my second home. Coming in video games is something I really enjoy. So, you know, I saw what they have with the new Kinect on Xbox. I saw what's the name? The
Spec Ops: The Line.
Spec Ops: The Line. Spec Ops: The Line. I'm a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm a real big Call of Duty fan, Battlefield fan, but Spec Ops looks pretty good. I got to check it out.
So can you just confirm for us then that if we have them back on the show to do another demo, you will do that demo for us?
Oh yeah, I'll kick
we
ass.
Can sit back.
You know, I thoroughly piss excellent. So if they call me back on, I'll definitely get down with you.
We'll keep watching because we do have a Medal of Honor review coming up, or demo coming up, which you should definitely check out. I think you'll
Okay.
like that.
Very much so.
And Larian Studios has 2 new games from their Divinity franchise on the way. They could not be more different.
Yeah, one is a classic isometric RPG, and the other one has a dragon with a jetpack.
Well, I would just like to say that dragons don't need jetpacks, right?
Yeah, they should be able to fly.
Right.
All right.
Well, we're going to see what that's about.
Yeah.
So let's head to the floor
dragons.
for a look at Original Sin and Dragon Commander.
Hey, finally, you guys, all that time I spent in my basement preparing to save the world is going to pay off with 2 games from Larian Studios. We have Divinity Dragon Commander and Divinity Original Sin. And here with me is Sven and David from Larian. David, Original Sin, prequel to Divine Divinity. It's going to play a lot like Divine Divinity?
It's heavily inspired by Divine Divinity, but we made it a party-based game because you can also play it as a multiplayer game.
Let's talk Dragon Commander.
Dragon Commander is a game in which you take on the role of a dragon commander, and you get involved into political intrigue. You have to choose which princess you're going to sleep with. You can turn yourself into a dragon with a jetpack. So it's pretty much an experience game in which you take on the role of a dragon commander.
Larian has 2 games out. One of them you can sleep with princesses and a dragon with a jetpack. It's Divinity Dragon Commander and Divinity Original Sin. Get them, you guys. It's going to be great.
So funny story. We were like, "Hey, Exhibit, you need to leave," and then you were like, "No," and we're like, "Okay."
Okay.
Hell no.
No problem. Just stay right here.
I'm just trying to figure out if I can pull off necklaces like that.
Of course you can. You know, just put out a couple records.
That means we'll
All right,
never
I'm going to
have
get
one.
right on that.
You're all tangled up anyway. It looks good.
All right, so still on the way, we have a hands-on demo of Medal of Honor Warfighter. That one you should definitely check out.
Very much so. Plus, the developers behind the Uncharted series are back with their take on the end of the world. You saw it yesterday at Sony. The Last of Us will be on our show in just a few minutes.
Get ready for violence.
One of my favorite things here at E3 is playing the games, but not against the computer, but against each other. And another thing is you can check out all the classic games because classic games don't die. They just improve and get better. Like these lovely ladies, better every year. Except for this fossil. I don't think this dragon quite made it out of the dungeon in time and still needs an Altoid.
There are always booth babes in tight shorts dancing. That's what makes E3 great. Also the games. The 2010 reboot of Medal of Honor puts you in the boots and beards of Tier 1 operators fighting on the front lines in Afghanistan. In the upcoming sequel entitled Warfighter, you are going to be tasked with taking on targets around the globe. And we, of course, have a hands-on demo. Here with the game game is executive producer Greg Goodrich. Welcome, and I'm so excited to check out Medal of Honor Warfighter. Thank you for being here. We have some Medal of Honor fans in the audience. How does this game tie into the last Medal of Honor?
Well, as you said, it's a follow-on to the last game. We're following the Tier 1 operators, Voodoo, Preacher, Mother, and the boys, as well as other characters we haven't revealed yet. They're coming back. They were a part of AFO Neptune. Now they're a part of Task Force Mako, and they're bringing the hate to the enemy.
Okay, so what are we looking at right here?
So this is actually a mission where we're actually going into Somalia. Every single mission in this game has a dotted line to an actual event or a real-world hotspot. In this case, it's off the coast of Somalia, just north of Mogadishu, where the guys are going in, they're rolling with the guys from the Marine Corps, and essentially assaulting a pirate enclave to shut the pirate problem down for good.
So I'm guessing that you didn't actually send anyone to Somalia because it is a completely lawless and governmentless place. How did you kind of go about creating that?
Well, we work with a number of guys, over 24 guys from the special operations community, all these units that are represented in the game. They come into the office, they bring, materials, photographs, sometimes video that sometimes we're allowed to see, sometimes we're not allowed to see. But they really help us, get the flavor and the vibe and the mood and the cadence of speech, that battle chatter, all that stuff that makes an authentic, first-person shooter, which Medal of Honor has always been an authentic shooter and a historical fiction. Just helping us get it right, and we look to them to tell us if we're doing it good or if we're getting it wrong, and they keep us honest.
How would you describe the feel and the pacing of a Medal of Honor game?
We take a different tone. Our tone is very reverential. The core tenets of Medal of Honor have always been honor, respect, authenticity, and just pay tribute to the guys and say thank you. And so we slow it down a little bit. This story particularly, focuses on those sacrifices that the guys make. Sure, there is a threat and they're solving problems all over, all around the globe. But, we also pay tribute to the families and the sacrifices that they're making at home. And it's a really good story as far as, Preacher and what he's going through, the main character, and how, being deployed 300 days out of the year affects his life.
So when your buddies get shot, you might actually feel bad about it?
Yeah. Well, again, we try to have that connection to the character, and make people care about him, and very relatable. I mean, these guys, the Tier 1 operators, they're, extremely, impressive human beings. They're clearly genetically different than most, but it's a job.
What are you saying?
No, I mean, you know what I mean.
You're saying I couldn't storm Somalia? Right.
But it's a job. It's a job that they do. They do it very well, but, they also have home lives, and they're just guys, and so we want to pay tribute to that.
And what are some of the other locations we're going to storm?
Storm.
Yes.
Well, actually, we actually fight in the Philippines during a storm, actually. The typhoon-ravaged island of Basilan in the Philippines, as well as, other locations that where you would expect terror to pop up.
Okay, so multiplayer obviously is a huge component in these games. Can you tell us a little bit about the multiplayer?
Absolutely. We're
Thank
actually
you.
showing multiplayer on the floor here at E3.
So people here at A3 are going to be able to go check it out?
Absolutely. Not only can they check it out and play it, we've got a gift bag full of all this great stuff, glasses, patches, all this really
Now
cool.
you're just making everybody jealous.
Absolutely. Come play it.
Okay, so
but it's 12 different units from 10 different nations, Tier 1 operators from around the world getting together, getting into fire teams and just leaving it all on the battlefield online.
How much are people going to have to work together in multiplayer?
It's a big thing. In these units, the guys rely on each other solely, and so we are actually have a new method called fire teams. It's like a cooperative multiplayer, if you will. And by staying close to your battle buddy or your swim buddy or whatever in the fire team, you reload faster, you can get ammunition. If you go down and your buddy stays out of combat, you will actually spawn right on top of him much quicker than if he's in combat or if he goes down as well. So it's pretty cool, just really focusing on that sense of camaraderie and working together to solve problems.
So what engine are you using for this game?
Frostbite 2. Frostbite 2. We took the engine from where the DICE guys left off with Battlefield 3 and improved it in every way we needed to improve it to really tell our story and focus on that close quarters nature of Tier 1 operators. In Battlefield, it's all about the big war. It's the sledgehammer, the overwhelming forces with jets and tanks and this and that. Medal of Honor is about the foot soldier, putting gamers in the boots of the soldier. So, you know, we've taken their destruction and we're focusing on micro destruction. So, what it's like to be in a room with cordite and the spent shell casings and the smoke in the air and the wood chips, you know, from the splinters of the wood when they're getting shot, and just making it feel more visceral and aggressive, and like I said, just putting gamers in the boots of these guys.
All right, well, the game looks absolutely beautiful. When does it come out?
October 23rd.
October 23rd. Thank you so much for coming by.
So much.
I look very much look forward to playing it.
So you can't come to E3 in person, but you can be here in spirit on our Twitter wall. DCurry18 says, I must get my hands on Medal of Honor Warfighter. It looks unreal. Well, actually, everything at E3 looks amazing this year. True dat. Kimo Sabi says, Medal of Honor Warfighter looks sick. We could not have said it any better. And congrats to Kimo Sabe, who just won a 1-year membership to Gamefly.com, the best way to rent and buy games. And you can be a winner too if you want a chance to win a console in the next hour. All you have to do is tell us what you're using the hashtag E3 on G4 from G4TV.com/E3sweeps.
True that, Candace Bailey. Coming up in the next hour, it's time for Teabagging 2.0. We're going to go hands-on with Halo 4's reinvented multiplayer mode.
Exhibit's on the stage for 2 seconds. She gets all
guys
street on us.
So did you.
I
did.
did.
Yeah, boy.
I definitely did. Plus a bunch of snooty tea drinkers. Get what's coming to them. You're going to see a demo of the Revolutionary War era Assassin's Creed 3. We will be right back.
You boy.
G4's live coverage of E3 2012 is brought to you by Gamefly, the best way to rent and buy games.
Welcome back to E3 Live. We are in the home stretch here with some of the show's biggest games still on the way.
This hour, you will have a whole new kind of apocalypse to prepare for after we go hands-on with The Last of Us for the PlayStation 3.
Let's find out what's in store for this year's take on the virtual gridiron. It's Madden NFL 13.
And later, a world premiere demo of the long-awaited Assassin's Creed 3.
Yes!
But first, let's send it over to Kevin and Blair for the year's biggest Xbox 360 exclusive.
That's not an understatement. It truly is probably the biggest exclusive.
It's the one people want to know about the most.
Very much so. Kiki, welcome back to the show, everybody. Kiki from Halo 4. Look, I don't think it's an understatement to say we spoke last year at Halo Fest. You didn't have a lot of details. The show and the game has taken E3 by storm this year. We saw the single-player campaign yesterday, but we wanted to focus more on the multiplayer this year. Again, people's expectations were so radically different than what I think you guys showed off yesterday. Are they going to experience the same thing with multiplayer here in Halo 4?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely showing a lot more multiplayer. You know, we have a new sort of framework around multiplayer, Halo Infinity multiplayer, which is really taking both our brand new cooperative experience, Spartan Ops, and War Games, which is sort of the more traditional competitive, and putting them together under a single narrative context. So the UNSC Infinity, you met in the briefing yesterday, Master Chief was introduced to. That's really the heart and soul of multiplayer. So you start your multiplayer career by enlisting as a Spartan 4 on the UNSC Infinity. And so the story of the Infinity and its adventures are something you're a part of.
So we hope that we can fail upwards throughout that, just like we do here in real life.
Now, when it comes to who we're actually battling, is this all human versus human gameplay? Is there human versus alien? Is it a free-for-all?
So for the competitive multiplayer War Games is essentially a simulator to prepare you for the live ops missions, which are Spartan Ops. So competitive multiplayer, simulated human against human. Spartan Ops, it's you and your friends cooperatively against any number of evil things out there.
Can we say thousands of evil things? I'm just making
You can say it. I mean, it's Halo, so I'm sure it can be that. It might be 4, but you can say it.
So obviously, you know, the multiplayer experience, it's not as, I think maybe as, I hate to call it linear, but as linear as certain multiplayer experiences in the past. I assume that it'll also be as customizable as what we're seeing here today is different.
Yeah, I think so. The idea of having your single Spartan is you have your character, you're a hero in the Halo universe. And anything you do, whether it's in War Games or in Spartan Ops, adds to your experience. So, and with that experience, obviously, you're going to unlock armor and weapons and all of these things, but it's not just a visual changer, right? You'll do things where you can...
We still have flaming visors and angel wings, right?
Yes.
Like those will exist.
Yes,
okay,
just
good.
for you.
Kevin will continue to play this.
Thank you, yes.
But it's really gameplay enhancing. So it's really about being able to choose the weapons and choose the loadouts and choose the things that suit your play style, or for Spartan Ops in particular, that particular mission that you're going into. So highly customizable from both a visual standpoint, but also how you play.
Okay. So when we're in these war games, these virtual simulations of battles, what are the different game modes that we'll be able to play?
So we have a lot of the traditional Slayer mode,
Sure.
But we also are adding some new modes. So we've got 2 we're actually showing this week. One called Regicide, which is sort of a king of the hill.
Okay.
If you imagine the end of Mario Kart, really sucks to be the one in first place. And then Infinity Slayer, which is sort of a twist on traditional Slayer, but allowing ordnance drops. So you can earn ordnance and drop them in.
So as you're earning kills or whatever, that gives you
Yes.
like credits essentially that you can spend on what new weapons and vehicles?
Exactly, exactly. So it gives a nice twist on a pre-existing mode.
And I want to talk a little bit more about that as well. What are the challenges in kind of expanding on what I assume a lot of people in this current console generation, and then even beforehand, this is really their first multiplayer experience. Yet you guys are still coming out with fresh, new ideas. And I know there was a handoff as far as the kind of the creative control of this is concerned, but the fact that you're still doing new multiplayer for a game that's been out as long as it's had is pretty amazing.
Well, we looked at kind of what we felt we needed to do, and part of it is things that work incredibly well. Let's continue to polish them and make them better. And then, people have different tastes, and there's just always more to explore. So, innovation is part of Halo, so we can't not add.
do it? Right.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's a pillar for the game.
Does all this multiplayer content, does it feed into this weekly, you guys are doing like an episodic content, right? Where there's like a little machinima involved, where you get a little narrative, and then you play a battle associated with that?
Yeah, so Spartan Ops, which is the cooperative side of the multiplayer experience, is basically an episodic co-op adventure, right? So every single week, you tune in, you get a story piece, which will be CG, beautiful CG, a story piece, and the story arc is already established and very long. And then you get 5 missions. So really the idea is, this shared experience with your friends of both a story and a gameplay experience. So really kind of taking that water cooler moment and blowing it out.
You get that every single week from launch on?
For a season.
Okay. Okay.
Not for the rest of your life.
Just making sure. But the pricing on that first season is absolutely right, because it's important to point out that it's completely free
The first season
once you get the game.
is part of the Halo 4 full game. So it's part of the Halo 4 experience.
We cannot thank you enough for making it free and for making this game as awesome as it is. It looks absolutely incredible.
Thank
Another round of applause for Kiki Wolfkill, everybody.
Kiki, very quick, when's it come out? When do we play it? When do we get Halo 4?
Oh, I forgot to ask you when. I'm so sorry, Kevin.
They want to know when. When can we play
November 6th.
Okay, there it is.
November
Kiki
6th,
Wolfkill,
everybody.
thank you.
Okay, we have after the break, we have a very uplifting game. Find out what happens when a fungus brings down the civilization in The Last of Us. Hint, everybody wants to kill you.
Oh, great. Yeah. Plus, we finally answered the question that drives us all. Are you prepared for some pigskin?
Yes.
Legal says we can't actually say the song lyric,
Right.
so that's what you get. Madden NFL 13 is coming up after this short break. Are you ready for some pigskin?
The current generation of consoles has been leaning heavily on motion control, which can be good if you're in need of a little bit of the old exercise. And if you're in need of something a little bit more serious, you can check out Zumba Fitness Core with trainer Gina Grant.
As if walking through the halls of E3 isn't hard enough, I'm on stage about to try out Zumba Fitness Core. My day's about to get a lot harder, huh? That's right. Working the core. All right, Gina, tell me a little bit about this new version of Zumba Fitness Core.
Well, this Ian, is actually our new game called Zumba Fitness Core, and a lot of our moves are focused just on the core. So a lot of the routines you see here are going to be moves specifically designed to tighten up your core.
I can feel it.
Can you?
Okay, but realistically, does this really give you a good workout?
Well, you tell me.
I feel it. I do.
You do?
I can see it.
And I bet you've only done it for about 25 seconds right now. If you keep doing it, you will break a sweat.
Okay, well, say like one session.
Yes.
Right?
So
how many calories?
You can burn up to 1,000 calories in a class, in the Zumba Fitness class. Here you have different classes that you can have different times, and you can set yourself to have an hour class, which you can burn up to 1,000 calories.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Zumba Fitness Core. Hard, but fun.
Let's go. Give me some more.
I don't know what you guys are thinking because I'm not psychic yet. So let's just check in with our Twitter wall. Now, first off, everybody is talking about The Last of Us right now. It is number 2 on our popular E3 topics. Iron Monkey says, The Last of Us looks absolutely amazing. I'm gonna have to buy a PS3 just for that. Sorry, landlord. Who needs to pay rent, right? T1 Stark says, The Last of Us looks good and it makes me sad that it's only for the PS3. Well, Iron Monkey, meet T1 Stark. Maybe y'all can become friends and pitch in on a PS3 together, and then you only have to pay half. Keep using the hashtag E3 on G4 from G4TV.com/E3 sweeps. Otherwise, you won't have a shot at winning stuff.
That was nice friend math there.
No, I liked it. She's a problem solver.
Yes, she is. After the break, we're going to go hands-on with the most expensive Tebowing simulator ever made, Madden NFL 13.
Plus, if you are looking for pointers on how to kill someone all efficient like, don't miss a world premiere Assassin's Creed 3 demo in just a few minutes.
Now, E3 and
Gaming's biggest. Can I see this real quick?
because I'm about to get my custom Oswald ears. Hello there. They're custom made. You can only get them here. They're free, which is awesome. So let me check these out. All right, very cool. It's got my name on them. Hello, there you go. And Kev, I got you a going away gift right here. It's for you, sweetheart. It's from me and all these people because I couldn't fund them to get you one. It's true.
G4's live coverage of E3 2012 is brought to you by Kit Kat Bars. Break time, anytime.
Gaming's biggest sports franchise is back this August, and it officially kicks off our national obsession with football. And since my beloved Saints are gonna have a rough year this year, we should take a look at the only thing that's gonna make me happy in pro football, Madden NFL 13. Here with the latest is designer Larry Rehart. Everyone, big round of applause for Larry. Thank you for joining me again, sir.
Oh, it's great to be here.
All right, so Larry, you know, we talk about this every year. Madden is constantly striving to deliver another level of realism. One of the things they've done this year that's important, Larry here is wearing a college national championship ring from Florida. As an LSU fan, I don't really say I support this ring, but the fact is they've got great guys that have had real experience on these games, and that's what you're bringing to the table.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we're doing a lot with Infinity Engine this year, the new physics impact engine that totally revolutionizes the game. Every play, every tackle, it's more intense. You'll get different results, no more canned animations on tackles. It's just anything can happen once you get tackled. It's just really cool and brings a new, authentic feel to the game.
Right. And again, that's something that I know you guys are always trying to elevate, that new level of realism. One of the things in the past, and we spoke about this, is that the passing system can be a little hit or miss. You know, you fling it up and there's a 50-50 chance your guy's going to grab the ball. Right. So what are you guys doing to really enhance that experience?
Well, you know, the new Infinity Engine impacts the passing game as well. And, you know, specifically what we've done with the passing game is we've added a new total control passing mechanic to give the users and guys like Drew Brees the ability to throw the ball into open areas, throw the ball to the open spots where only their receiver can get the ball. And just like those guys, what makes those guys so successful in real life is what we've given the user the ability to do in Madden NFL 13.
And to expand on that, Saints played Drew Brees every day and pay him what he wants because he is amazing and he's going to be great in this game.
He's worth it.
He very much so is. So let's talk about the opposite end of that. We're talking about the defensive backs and how they react to safeties to these incredible passers. How's the defense going to be effective?
Exactly, yeah. We've added a new defensive read and react system, so that means that no more psychic DBs. There's nothing more frustrating than making the perfect read, throwing a pass, and a defensive back blindly making a swat or intercepting your pass even, and that's not realistic. So we've made it so that now they have to see the ball before they can actually react to it. And it's just, again, what you see in real life, and that's what happens in our game in Madden NFL 13.
I mean, it sounds to me like you've really just pulled back the hood and gone in there and changed some fundamental aspects of the game when it comes to the AI.
Absolutely, and it all starts with the new Impact Infinity engine, and it just goes from there.
Right. And let's talk about some of the animations. You know, when you are, let's say the running back's carrying the ball, he slams into the line. What can we expect to see from there moving forward?
Anything. I mean, it's totally awesome because depending on the contact, the amount of momentum, who's hitting them, anything can happen. It just doesn't look the same on any play, and it just totally is a brand new feel for the game.
And then expanding on that realism, as you spoke about earlier, the audio in the game, the commentary, the way that you actually bring the sounds of the field into the game has always been great, but you've really taken it an extra step this year.
Well, yeah, it all starts with the commentators. We've got the best in class, and Phil Simms and Jim Nantz. I mean, those guys are fantastic. And when you hear them in game, it just sounds like you're watching a game on TV. And you know, it starts with the hello, friends, the common thing that Jim Nantz always starts his telecast with, and it just is really cool to hear those guys in our game.
Please tell me that Phil Simms shows up in the VO booth in the most ridiculous pajamas. Paint me a picture, man.
He's got a suit on. He looks good. You know,
he's so pro.
He's good to go.
He's so pro. And let's talk about the career mode. This is something in the past I know you're very surprised with. People, when you hear Madden, you expect friends to get together, play a game against each other, and then go their separate ways.
Right.
But you guys, you've been surprised in the past at just how much people build careers in this game and how much of your player base is playing career mode.
Yeah, that's a huge part. And Josh Lumen and the team in Austin done a fantastic job creating the new connected career mode. And what that is, it's the best of online franchise, superstar. It allows you to, you know, if you want to play with Tim Tebow, if you want to play with, you can be Rex Ryan, or you can play with Joe Montana. You can even play with Coach John Madden. For the first time in the history of his game, you can be Coach John Madden and control the Raiders or whatever team you want to control.
Can you have awkward moments between Tebow and Sanchez in the locker room? Can that happen?
No promises there.
And let's talk about the real events. I know that you're trying to tie in, you're making everything connected. Are real NFL events going to be affecting the stats and the players in this game?
Absolutely. You know, each week we have Donnie Moore, our ratings czar. They update the rosters every week based on what's going on in real life. Like, for example, like a guy like Victor Cruz last year, who all of a sudden blew up. Like you'll notice that throughout the year as you update rosters, his rating got better and better throughout the year, just like in real life.
Yeah, we saw Victor Cruz at the Madden Bowl this year in Indy, and I was like, how do you feel about everything? He's like, I feel like I'm going to be a lot better in next year's game than I was in this year's game.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was a stud.
Which is pretty great. So when can people expect to see this game in store?
August 28th.
August 28th. Well, thank you so much for bringing the game in,
Thank you.
friend.
Right.
Always great talking to you, Larry. The game looks awesome.
Yesterday, Microsoft announced a new application called Xbox Smart Glass. The goal is to give players more interactivity and a second screen to remotely control the Xbox. Here's the best part. You don't need to buy another device or a special controller. You'll be able to use your own phone or tablet. Here's all the details.
All right, everybody, Alex here, E3 2012. The most amazing thing to come out of the Microsoft press conference, in my opinion, was the announcement of Smart Glass. I'm here at the Microsoft booth to finally see what it's about. What is Smart Glass?
Xbox Smart Glass is a technology that we're deploying across all of your smart devices that is intelligent. It knows what you're doing on your TV through your console. Pretty soon, if you're a person who's got a second screen in the living room, you have a lot of companion apps. So what we decided was, what if we could tell consumers, you only need one companion app? We're going to call it Xbox Smart Glass.
Let me see some stuff. Show me some moves, as it were.
So imagine I wanted to watch an episode of Game of Thrones. I can go ahead and queue it up. I'm just using simple gesture to navigate. This is also where we're providing additional choice to consumers. So we said, let's find a way to elegantly deliver that to people so they don't have to root for it. It simply shows up through Smart Glass.
Have you seen the game designers and the game makers really coming forward and being like, this is a great idea, we're going to try to adopt this and really get behind it?
We have gone out and talked to these guys, and I can tell you there's a lot of enthusiasm.
Is there any information about when this is going to be released?
You're going to get this for Christmas.
Well, that's it. Microsoft Smart Glass, bringing all of your entertainment together for massive enjoyment. Thank you so much, Peter. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing more.
Well, it is official. The E3 cat is out of the bag. We have seen all of the press events and heard all of the big day one announcements. So, who had the best showing so far? It is time for a news break. Joining me now is Polygon Editor-in-Chief Chris Grant, as well as IGN's Editor-in-Chief Casey Lynch. All right, guys, it has been a packed day. Of all the new titles that we've seen, what has impressed you guys the most? You go.
I would have to say a game from Ubisoft. They debuted it called Watch Dogs. Nobody was expecting to see it. And in addition to it being a total surprise, it actually looks really good.
Yeah, Watch Dogs I think was by far the biggest surprise, mostly because we knew about everything this year. I think the most impressive game for me so far has been Last of Us, but we heard about it months ago, and so coming to an event like this, it's always nice to get a surprise, and Watch Dogs was certainly surprising.
Now, so you mentioned The Last of Us. I feel like we got kind of a different impression of it than we had in the past. It seems more brutal, almost Condemned-like.
The thing I wrote that it was my most anticipated game, and I said it would be nice to see Naughty Dog take what they've been able to do, their talent for cinematic storytelling, but take out the wisecracks and the sort of winks, and do something that's like, with that sort of Cormac McCarthy, The Road kind of influence, where it's just grim and it's dark, but with their level of storytelling and polish. I think it's something that's really special, and I'm eager to see a lot more of it. But again,
and then coming out of today, is that still your most anticipated game?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is your, other than Watch Dogs, what are you most anticipating?
My most anticipated game is Halo 4. I'm a giant, outspoken Halo fan. I'm really excited to see what 343 is bringing to the table. It's their first full, Halo release. They did Combat Evolved Anniversary, but we had it on our live show. We've been playing it. We're very excited for it. So.
Okay, so now we've seen all of the press conferences. Who do you think really hit it out of the park, and who do you think really didn't do as good a job?
Is no one answer? Nobody? That nobody hit it out of the park? I feel like there's a specter of next-gen consoles looming over the whole show, and there's a lot of software that we know is in development that we're not seeing because it's for consoles that don't exist yet, that haven't been announced yet. So I think that a lot of the manufacturers did what they could. I think the big company who really had to impress was Nintendo, because they have shown their next-gen strategy, and I was personally disappointed. I was expecting a lot more out of them. We didn't hear much about their online service, which they've been weak in for a decade.
I think that might have been a little bit, they keep talking about these other press events that they're going to have, online at night. Do you think that's a strategy that works?
It's not working for me right now.
What's your opinion?
I have to agree. I think Nintendo needed to make us into believers of the Wii U. They needed to show us why we need this tablet and why developers need that sort of tech to develop for. And I just don't feel like they did that. And if anything, Microsoft comes out with the smart glass technology that uses pre-existing hardware. You don't have to go out and buy a peripheral. It's all software-based. It's easy to use and understand. I feel like pretty much across the board, everybody played it safe, and it just sort of was, I don't know, it was just sort of there.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you. I have to stop it there. I have to stop the unfortunate jaded commentary, which I mostly agree with. Let's send it over to Candace and Kevin.
Thanks, Morgan.
Thank you.
Do you realize how long
Is that for us or
we
them?
have been on the air?
No.
Almost 5 hours.
What?
Yes.
Is that why I threw up? Is it exhaustion or is it just my beach body?
I think it's exhaustion.
Oh, okay.
Stay strong because we've still got a world premiere hands-on demo of Assassin's Creed 3 in just a minute.
I will remain strong.
All right.
And
you can
still
do it,
vomit.
Kevin. You can do it. It's your beach ball.
Well, I was wandering around the Capcom booth, turned a corner, and found myself in the seedy underbelly of the DMC nightclub. I did not think it was going to be that kind of party. I know what you're thinking, and the answer is not in a million years.
But maybe tomorrow. Maybe there's a chance tomorrow. Probably not. Welcome back to E3 12 Live. We've got E3 covered on your TV and online as well. Just go to G4TV.com for even more E3 12 coverage presented by the all-new Ford Focus ST.
Now let's get to the goods. The Last of Us is from the developer Naughty Dog. They're known for pretty much the most amazing games ever on the PlayStation. And this one's a post-apocalyptic tale that takes its inspiration from a scary and plausible place. Scariest part takes place in Pittsburgh. Let's go hands-on. All right, joining me now, lead designer Jacob Minkoff and voice actor Troy Baker, everybody. So, Last of Us, settle down, kids. Crazy times here. Last of Us, a survival adventure. I did not know it was inspired by BBC's Planet Earth. Is that true?
Yeah, it totally is. I
don't remember zombies.
Well, there actually are. Insect zombies.
Oh, that's right. The little guys that perch and the little things come out of their head.
Yeah. The cordyceps fungus. It gets in their head, and then it forces them to go and like climb above the colony, explode all over the other ants, and then they infect everyone else. So we saw that and said, well, there's this moment where the narrator's like, the more numerous a species becomes, the more likely it'll be infected by cordyceps, and we're like, oh, we're pretty numerous. Well, what if it jumped to humans? Right. So then that put it in a realistic situation for us of how zombies could be created in real life.
But from what I've seen, I'm sure there's a lot of human on zombie contact and gunplay and gameplay, I'm sure, but from what I've really seen, there's an emotional struggle taking place, more so than human versus zombie. It's almost human against human.
Well, yeah, that's what's really interesting to us at Naughty Dog. We're all about character-driven narrative. So for us, it's like the infected, our version of the zombies. Those guys are an excuse to have a world that is destroyed and abandoned. But for us, what's interesting is that the humans in the world are even worse monsters than the zombies.
Right. Which is happening today, let alone post-apocalyptic Pittsburgh. Troy, what's it like to breathe life into such a whimsical, happy place as this?
It's just sunshine and rainbows,
of course.
Unicorn farts, and
is that what you channel in the booth?
That is
Throw
what
on
I do.
A diamond, sparkly suit.
I have unicorn breath that I sprinkle on me, and I have a picture of Blair Herter that I look at for inspiration. It's amazing. I mean, this is to be involved in a game like this. I mean, I was a huge fan of Uncharted before, I even became a part of this, and so to be a part of a game like this is the Shangri-La. It's the holy grail of being in a video game title.
What can you tell us about Troy that maybe wasn't on the page that you've decided for the character?
For me, the first thing that I keyed in with Joel was that on the audition sides, it came down, there was this one line that says, Joel has few moral lines left to cross. For me, that was the wedding stone for me. That just unlocked everything for me, and that's the kind of guy that he is. We've kind of seen this model of the anti-hero kind of develop over the last 5 years. It's Marcus Phoenix is a great character. Nate Drake is an awesome character too, but finding someone that you can really relate to is I think more relative, and that's really who Joel is.
All right. Now, Bruce, what are we seeing here? What is this this portion?
I love this part.
What we've got here is we're showing off some of the combat in The Last of Us. I think one of the things that we really wanted to show here at E3 is that this is a very systems-driven game. We got the idea of the balance of power AI. An enemy will see you pull a gun on them, and they'll say, "Oh no, you've got a gun. I've got only like a melee weapon, but I better run away." But then you go click, click. Oh no, you're out of bullets. All right, I'm moving in on you. Right? And
I love that they recognize those moments too.
Absolutely.
Like they know, the NPCs know. Oh, you're screwed right now. This is where we charge.
Exactly, and also you've got your ally Ellie, who's very capable 14-year-old girl, and the thing that you're seeing right
that
there.
Moment. Yeah, we saw that yesterday at the press conference. What a beautiful moment.
When she throws the brick, right? She looks around the environment, looks for an object she can use to help you, sees you're out of ammo, flanks the enemy, and takes him out while he's focused on you. And that's all systems driven.
I was just going to say, like, how scripted is a moment like this? Because that seems like something that a developer said, okay, here's where your ally is going to do this piece of VO is going to happen, this piece of cover is going to be blown away. But you're saying that that's dynamic, that's happening in real time?
That's what we're doing. We're designing what we call a wide linear game. The narrative is linear, but the gameplay opportunities are wide. What if the player goes into the room on the right? What if they don't pick up the ammo? What if they don't go to the place where Ellie can pick up the brick? There are all sorts of different things that can happen, and we're designing systems that take advantage of that.
So Troy, that must have meant a laundry list of pages that you were going through in the booth for, okay, this is the grunt we need when you realize you're out of ammo in this sequence, and now here's the grunt we need.
That's shoulder grunt. We need more punched in the hip grunt.
Exactly. I'm not feeling that in the torso.
And the thing is that the process, I think everyone's been really trying to find a magic bullet for the way to do mocap and performance capture. And really, with the way that Naughty Dog does it, it seems to work. It's kind of the best of the best, because we capture everything on the day. So it's the body, it's the face, and the voice. And we really spend the time in the process to make sure that we get as much coverage, so it's not just the same repetition thing that the player's hearing all the time.
I'm telling you, I'm sure you've heard it a million times here. We're all excited for this game, and thank you for bringing something unique to gameplay right now. Like, I can't wait to be scared crapless in this world. So thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Really
Absolutely,
appreciate it. Yeah, best of luck.
Cheers. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got time left for a few more tweets. Now, you guys have been blowing up the Twitter wall today about E3. We've got over 1.6 million tweets. Crazy. Okay, Taylor 9.0 says, due to E3 on G4, you guys will think I'm a nerd because that's all I'm blowing up my timeline with. Well, guess what? I don't care. I love E3. You are in good company. We love E3 as long as it's on G4. Shadow says, several reasons why buying a PS3 was the greatest idea ever. The Last of Us, which we just heard about, God of War, PS3 for the win. Couldn't agree more. Those are great games. And keep using the E3 on G4 hashtag over at g4tv.com/E3 sweeps to enter for a chance to win a game console. Now, all week long. In fact, JAlexG0711 just won an Xbox 360. Congrats! We've still got plenty of prizes to give away. In fact, people tweeting this hour will be eligible to win a PlayStation 3 during tomorrow's live show. Now, this Sunday, don't miss a brand new episode of American Ninja Warrior. You'll see skilled athletes vying for a shot at dominating the world's toughest obstacle course. Most will fail. American Ninja Warrior is coming up next after today's E3 coverage. And make sure to check out all the new episodes this Sunday night at 9 on G4. Go to facebook.com/Ninja Warrior for exclusive clips, interviews, and much more. Now let's send it back over to Blair and Morgan.
Two people who will never be able to do anything that people do in American Ninja Warrior. Nope. All right, so let's talk about the game that everybody's talking about here on the show. We've been in the Middle East, we've been to Italy, but now Assassin's Creed is coming here to the States. All right, here to walk us through the next chapter in Assassin's Creed is creative director Alex Hutchinson. Alex, thank you for coming to the show, my friend. All right, buddy. We were talking about this before you came on. You guys showed off this stuff at GDC this year behind closed doors. You're finally showing it to the world. It's been so hard to keep this secret from everybody, so thank you for inviting me and telling me I couldn't talk about it. But for the people at home that are experiencing this finally for the first time, you're showing it here on this exclusive hands-on demo. Bring us up to speed. Where are we right now in the Assassin's Creed story?
So really for us, this was a chance to sort of get back to roots, to sort of relaunch the franchise. So it's a brand new Assassin, brand new historical period in the American Revolution, brand new set of player fantasies. We showed sort of the tree running and the sort of woods earlier. And yesterday we finally got to let one of our big secrets out of the bag, and we showed the naval gameplay. So it's sort of a master and commander fantasy. We really hope that this is kind of a big thing for people who've been with us since the start, and a chance to get on board for some new people.
Let's take a look at this tree running right here. Oh, now we're on the ground. But this was something that actually I have to say that I was a little bit worried about, because it's like, how many trees can you climb?
The answer's a lot.
A lot. Thousands.
So talk about integrating that, and was it kind of a new system that you had to develop?
Yeah, so basically, a lot of people kept saying to us, Assassin's Creed is about climbing buildings. And so I thought, no, I think Assassin's Creed is more just about climbing. And so it was always funny to me that the one thing I could climb in real life was the one thing I couldn't climb in the game, which was a tree. So, you know, I was like, no, come on, we got to do trees. But then once we did that, we realized making a natural tree, a believable tree, is pretty tricky. You know, you don't want it to look like a video game grid. So it was a big challenge for the guys, but I think the engineers pulled it off, and I think it feels as natural and believable as the cities.
And I know one of the things you guys are most proud of is the environment, and specifically the way that Connor moves around the environment. As you can see here, it looks like we're in the American frontier, and as you watch him move across the snow, he's sinking in over certain parts of it deeper than others, and I know that's something you're proud of. You really did just remove all the underlying foundation and rebuild the game from the ground up.
It was. We started work in January 2010, so by the time we shipped, we've had 3 years to work on it, which is a long time. So we kind of boiled it back down to its basics, and we rebuilt the climbing, we rebuilt the combat, we added a full weather system. So all the maps, whether it's Boston or New York or sort of the American frontier, have winter and summer versions. And as you said, the snow is an obstacle for you, but it's also an obstacle for the enemy. So you can imagine stalking them through the trees as they sort of, you know, get caught in the snow beneath you and picking them off one by one.
Now, I actually saw, you know, when the wolves were attacking, a beautiful dodge move. I've always been impressed with the animation in Assassin's Creed games and the sort of the variety of animations you have. Now, you've built like a whole new system of those.
Yeah, so there's literally thousands of animations. We had kind of a pre-E3 party for the team recently, and the animation director trotted out sort of numbers, which scared everybody. I think if we'd listed the numbers when we started, we just would have gone home. But it's literally 4,000 or 5,000 new animations for the assassin to just really ground him in the environment, to make the fight new and fluid and dynamic, to deal with all these crazy animals.
And there's actually a slightly new combat system. You kind
Completely
of changed
new.
it. Okay.
Yeah, so we went back. We knew combat was always beautiful in Assassins, but it was never as tight as we wanted it. So we went back and said, okay, we want the player to be more aggressive. We want him to be dual wielding, so 2 weapons at once all the time. We want to, you know, support all kinds of crazy counter moves, but against multiple enemies. So as much as possible, we've rebuilt it.
Okay, and obviously something that people are really excited about. I know my biggest question: which famous people from history can I stab in the face?
So, I don't know, I always think we don't get enough mileage out of this. I think we talked about it at GDC, but everyone you've ever killed who was a significant target in Assassins is a real person, and they die in the right time, in the right place. Obviously, they don't die in the right way, or they're
Right.
historically accurate.
This is not how some of these guys'
No,
lives
they
have
never got stabbed, I don't think, by the way. Maybe they papered over these
Right,
facts.
right.
But I don't want to give away actual names just because that's kind of the fun of figuring it out. But I will say that we've invested way more in the enemies than ever before. So you will really know them by the time you stab them in the face this time around.
I'm gonna feel really bad about that. Ben Franklin, I'm assuming. Just saying, man, I'm making things up.
All right, stay right there because we still need to talk about the game's multiplayer.
That's right.
After the break, part 2 of our Assassin's Creed 3 hands-on demo. This time we are focusing on stabbing dudes online. We'll be right back.
Don't go anywhere, Alex. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
It is so big.
G4's live coverage of E3 2012 is brought to you by the all-new Ford Focus ST.
Hey everybody, we're back. E3 12 on G4. We're talking Assassin's Creed 3. Joining us once again, creative director Alex Hutchinson. Alex, we've seen footage of the American frontier. We've seen the British forts. Now, what are we going to see? I'm thinking naval. I see
Naval.
a boat. I see water.
The
It says
high
naval.
seas. Yeah. Well, when we looked into it, we realized that, you know, if one fantasy in Assassin's Creed is being an assassin, the other one is kind of being a historical tourist. You know, it's like visiting these places. When we looked at the history, we knew weather was a big deal, so we did snow. But then we realized that you arrived in America on a ship. Everything you got that was imported came on a ship.
Sure.
You know, the revolution, you know, the French Navy was hugely involved. So we just couldn't avoid doing naval.
And you're doing it in a big way. This isn't like parkour on a boat while stabbing people. You're driving the ship, you're manning cannons, you're calling it out.
Yeah, exactly. So we knew also we wanted to be in the same vein as the main game. So it's still action-adventure, it's still about navigation and combat, and you're a guy on a boat. It was important to us you weren't magically a boat for this period. You're still Connor, you're still on the boat, so you can let go of the wheel, explore your boat, go below decks, all that sort of stuff. So
And you can actually board other ships as well.
yeah, you can. Once you do, you've got your usual choice of different cannons cannon stuff. So they had this nasty stuff called grape shot, which was kind of all the crap on the deck of the boat loaded into a cannon and fired at the enemy crew.
Right.
So you can use that, or you can use normal round shot to damage and sink the boat, or chain shot to sort of bring down the masts and then board it.
Amazing. So it's not a mini game. I mean, I'm looking at here, you guys probably had to do some custom tech to achieve these high seas looking as amazing as they are.
It's a huge, it's got a weather system. You see it just changed from sort of like beautiful, like a Caribbean sea into sort of this stormy ocean. But yeah, it's brand new for us. We really think this is going to be a feature. Naval is such a big part of the history of humanity. We see this as a big part of the AC universe.
Now, okay, so let's talk multiplayer, because I actually really have been enjoying your multiplayer. It's a departure from your traditional run and shoot. There's a little bit of a different strategy. So how does it work into this game? Is it the same that we've seen, or have been there some changes?
Yeah, we have a brand new set of modes we're built in. The one you're looking at now is Domination. So we're trying to mix it up for people who've been with us since the start. We're trying to clarify a lot to make it more accessible, so that hopefully we can get a whole new set of people to jump on board. And as you know, the sort of fiction of the universe has always been on the Abstergo side, so the bad guy side, and we have a brand new spin on that as well for this game to sort of unlock some secrets of the universe.
Well, so now, speaking to this mode here, this domination mode, is it the capture and hold certain points?
Exactly, yeah. So you're working with people, with small groups, to capture and hold points on the map, to kill the other, obviously guys who are coming for you. As you can see, they've also incorporated chunks of the weather that we built in on the single-player side, and also it's a chance to maybe play the redcoats. So all those Brits who are worried about killing their ancestors, this is their chance to get revenge in the multiplayer.
Is it, the weather systems, are they dynamic to the multiplayer maps, or is it sort of baked in? This level will take place in the snow and that's it?
Generally it's baked in because we wanted to make it predictable, but we're still toying with a few things, so we'll see how it pans out in the next couple of months.
And what other modes can you tell us about?
I'm legally obliged to not answer any other.
I don't see any lawyers on set. If they are, maybe they're blending in with a group right now and they're going to leap out and stab you. But
I think it's difficult with any sort of long-running multiplayer. It's kind of more of an evolution, you know what I mean? You're always building and adding things and trying to find the perfect balance. If you have 30 modes, is it way too many? If you have 2, is it too few? So we're trying to find that sweet spot. But there's over a dozen modes in the AC multiplayer, so lots of variety.
And can you tell people kind of the basics of how the multiplayer is? Because I think when people think multiplayer, they just think we all get in there and we shoot each other, or we get on teams of 4 and then we shoot the other team.
We run around and swing a knife and hopefully we stab something.
Yeah, I think there was a really big effort to try and make the Assassin's Creed multiplayer its own beast, So it is still about sneaking, it still is about stealth and killing people in creative and attractive ways.
And so how do you actually achieve stealth?
So basically, you can use many of the mechanics that you use in the main game. So you can sort of hide in different areas. You're trying to break line of sight between your target, and at all times you usually have one set target that you're trying to find in the map. So someone who's blending in as well, trying to hide who you're trying to sort of root out.
Right, you get your kill and that's it. Do you still have like those chase breakers and stuff where you have to kind of run through and that's what breaks it for you?
Yeah, you're seeing some of that go back and forth between single player and multiplayer too. So that we have little interiors now in single player where if the guards are after you, can cut through the middle of a building and sort of escape in that. And so we're trying to sort of really unify the tactics in both sides.
That's some good crossover, so we can get used to one set of tactics, single player, and that'll translate there, yeah.
And then I also, I see that we're going to have some female assassins in multiplayer, something that I really respect and appreciate.
Yep, and I think also if you look at the Vita game that we just announced as well, it's a new assassin, African-American lady in Adeline, and I think it's really cool that we can sort of start to really broaden the universe for AC.
How do we start, if we do an online petition, can we get Morgan Webb to be an unlockable assassin? She has been with the franchise from day one and has been a huge vocal supporter. How do we make that happen? How do I make that happen?
I think we can make this happen. We'll talk about it after the segment. I think let's get it done.
All right, so when do we get it?
Yes.
The game is out October 30th on PC, PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii U.
Wow.
All right.
A lot of platforms.
We can't wait. Thank you so much for coming by.
So much. I appreciate
it. We're huge fans, and we are very excited.
Guys, G4's coverage of E312 is far from over. We've got 3 more hours of live TV from this very stage tomorrow. Would you like a little preview?
Yeah.
Of course you would. Here's a look. Tomorrow, G4's live coverage of E3 2012 continues with more hands-on demos of the show's biggest games.
I will lead you to glory!
We're going back to the epic world of Tamriel and one of the most anticipated MMOs of all time, The Elder Scrolls Online. Plus, break out your nanosuit. We're going hands-on with Crysis 3. The futuristic franchise is bringing the jungle to the Big Apple. Terrorists beware. Sam Fisher is planning to hunt you down in a daring revamp of the veteran franchise. We'll take the wraps off of Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist. And pack your suitcase. Far Cry 3 is taking you to an exotic island paradise filled with deadly mercenaries. All that plus exclusive interviews, the latest trailers, and all the news as it breaks. Woo! We did it!
Yay!
We did it. Today was packed with demos, new games. But now it's time to hurt somebody's feelings and say what we liked best. My favorite part. Candace, what say you?
I think it's pretty obvious. I'm going to go with Dance Central 3.
Of course.
Because I love to dance. Even though I think I was getting so many X's because the camera was messed up or something.
No,
it
of course, Wait, just in case people missed that, what was the move that you tried to perform again for the camera, Candace?
We don't want to get hurt here.
Yeah, that was it right there.
Better in heels.
It's a little hard in heels.
I'm
impressed.
And this close.
All right, I'm going to say actually Medal of Honor and Spec Ops: The Line. It's nice to see some kind of alternative shooters coming out. We see a lot of Call of Duty, which obviously is a great game and we really like, but it's nice to see something a little bit different. But then, of course, I just looked at Assassin's Creed, and I might have to pick that too. Okay, go.
I love how they asked Morgan to pick about 20 minutes ago, and Morgan's like, oh, definitely Spec Ops. And then Assassin's happened, she's like, oh, I wish you would have asked me now.
I was like, if I had to choose one favorite, I would choose all of them.
All of them.
That's not how this works.
I'm sorry.
I think definitely my first favorite was finally learning that Exhibit clearly follows me around. So that was a big moment.
He brought out your inner street.
He's attracted to my street.
You bought a chain wallet. You're
Yeah,
going crazy.
Yeah. And then my second thing I think was the big surprise for me. I think was Dead Space 3, and by that I mean when they were talking about. Thank you for the support.
They backed you up.
But they were, it was really cool because they brought in the co-op, and I think the biggest surprise for me was them saying we are committed to making that same really tight, terrifying single experience occur with two people. So I'm really excited to see how they actually do that. And again, happy that they're gonna try and do that, because who doesn't want to take a terrifying journey with their friend? So that's why I'm.
Speaking of terrifying journeys with their friends, I went with Resident Evil 6.
That's a good one.
Which surprised me, actually. I love drop-in, drop-out co-op in any game, but I'm glad that they're returning to the slower, shambling zombies. The game looks great, and I'm excited to play with my friends, so I went with that. But Last of Us kind of got me.
I know.
So that I'm like, man, that is so good.
They sneak up on the end. That's what it is. We commit to something emotionally at the beginning of the show, and then there's
right.
so much great stuff throughout the show.
Well, thankfully, we've got 3 more hours
Yeah.
tomorrow.
We do.
We're totally set.
We're okay.
We have tons and tons more game demos tomorrow. And, of course, Thursday, E3 2012 continues tomorrow night at 6 with even more exclusives. More hands-on demos,
Crazy.
breaking news, interviews with the biggest names in gaming. I sang that because it was that big.
I like
Really?
it.
No, it's really nice.
It's a pretty
And hey,
song.
you guys should stick around because American Ninja Warrior is
What?
coming up.
That's a good show.
It is a good show.
It's a
You
great show.
said
I'd
that-
like to see you two on it.
No.
One year I tried it.
busted my butt
Not
on
effective.
it.
All you guys.
I like how
good
you
at
said,
all.
well, we wouldn't be able to do what half those guys do on the show. We could all fall in the water very quickly. We can do it. You'll see. It's what
All right,
everybody
thank
does.
everyone for tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.